nothing courageous about this.
Take off the flag because I'm an American.
We're supposed to call y'all heroes?
Take off the flag.
We're supposed to
And
call
you
y'all
can't take
heroes?
us tonight.
Y'all are
I'm
heroes?
an American.
You're my hero? You're my hero? You're my hero? You're my
I'm
hero?
an American. You're supposed to
Nah.
protect me. And you're going to attack with that flag on your arm? How dare you? How dare you?
I don't
What
understand.
hero with a American flag on their arm is going to attack American people tonight? Raise your hand. Raise your hands.
Which one? How many of y'all did it last night?
You're going to put on your arm and you're going to attack me. For using my God-given right and my constitutional right as an American for freedom of expression and freedom to assembly. That doesn't make any sense.
It's the first. There's amendments. It's the first one. They said it's the most important. I guess. I don't know.
Is this what you call patriotism? Do you call yourself a patriot for fighting against your own people?
This is who we're supposed to have cookouts for? We're supposed to have a cookout for y'all?
Of hopes and dreams that anything's possible, but the only thing possible is the right to get shot. George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! It doesn't make sense. George Floyd! And y'all know that y'all wrong. George Floyd! The same shit that y'all learned in history is happening again.
Thank you. Sorry, y'all.
George Floyd! George Floyd! Like a black man died over a fake $20 bill. He's supposed to be mad, and that doesn't make him mad. Like, that doesn't make sense. George Floyd! Explain to me how Nicholas Cruz can go and shoot up Parkland and walk on the side of the highway and get put in the police car and handcuffed, but y'all want to shoot somebody over a $20 bill. That doesn't make sense.
Giggles, are you done laughing? Are you? So right here.
And I understand that it might not be y'all directly, but if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. And the same system that you work for is fucked up and corrupt.
I came here tonight wondering if I'm going to get hurt for doing nothing.
And y'all got guns and gas, tear gas in the back for what?
For nothing. It is justified to beat, kill,
Are you going to hurt me in an hour?
civilians because they're not following.
53 minutes, you're going to crack me over the head with that baton? That's how you thought your career would go?
Half of us are under the age of 25. And half of y'all are older than that. And we're trying to educate y'all. This is going to go down in history. And you're going to feel dumb because you're on the wrong side. You're going to go home to your kids and let them know that you shot tear gas at somebody else's kid. That you injured somebody else's kid.
Is this what you want your nightmares to be about?
And the same way that you being prepared for graduation and prom with your children, half of us don't even make it, stay alive to make it to that.
I work in this city. Months from now, I'm going to come back here. I remember the time Army troops stood in front of me in the Capitol.
I work for
What are you
veterans.
going to remember?
What's going to happen?
You remember the time you put on all your shit, all your armor, all your helmets, all your big old grenade launchers and paint rounds, and you
Y'all got
came
all
here and
this
shot
shit
at people?
on for people who got signs and water bottles.
You're gonna take your kids here? Be like, look kids, this is the
Signs
White
and
House.
water bottles. Y'all have to
This
come
is
with
where I shot
rights.
into a bunch of kids.
And the funny thing is, every protest is peaceful. Peaceful until
I'm not
the
some
police
big old
come.
tough guy. I
Y'all
fucking
the
cried
ones
last
who
night.
instigate shit.
Does
I
this fit
cried
your
last night
rules of
wondering if I was gonna get tear
engagement?
gas.
Firing on unarmed civilians. Does that fit your rules?
I just got nothing but heart up
Does
here.
that fit your training?
If I'm gonna get hurt, I guess I am. But do you want to be the one to do it?
Where's DC police?
DC police got y'all doing their job. We saw them sitting down with their feet propped up when we was marching. And meanwhile, y'all sitting here sweating for what?
After them
To protect children.
started the right.
And the funny thing is, if we wanted to be violent, don't you think we would have done that by now? We have been out here all day.
For days.
You're not
For
the
days.
same as them.
This
We know
day of
that.
protest.
We know you're not the same, so why are you standing in the same line?
And for a lot of y'all, this goes against your morals. You know that this is wrong.
Are those murderers your brothers in arms? I don't think so.
And y'all know that George Floyd didn't deserve to die. And if you do think he did, then you should take the uniform off now.
And it's not even us. Every state, all 50 states of America that you protect.
Is this who you're proud to stand beside?
Regardless of the crime committed, a black person does not deserve to die. Whether they committed the crime or not, I should not get shot in the back for going to the store to get Skittles and a sweet tit. If I ran a red light, then I still deserve to live. You do not get to decide who gets to live and who doesn't get to live. Why do y'all get to decide who lives? You're not God. It's not your job to play with other people's lives. How about you find out that your child's dead over a traffic light stop?
Right here.
More than half our age and y'all so threatened y'all got on riot
Soldiers,
gear.
is there a reason why you have not decided to be in line with everybody else? For real.
These two that are the only ones.
Y'all just want to be so damn close.
They're the only ones too holding.
Wow. Is your mustache even in rags? I don't think so. Check AR. Thank you.
And y'all can't even look at us. Y'all got people telling you how they feel, and you can't even get them enough respect to look at them. You don't want a uniform to serve and protect who? You don't get to pick and choose who you serve and protect. Everybody in this country deserves the same rights, the same opportunities, the same future, and the same equality. If you can't give them that, then you pick the wrong job. You work a fucking terrorist, targeting one group, killing one group. Why do people of different races get to commit the same crime? This guy raped these girls and spent 6 months in jail. And you kill somebody for a traffic light stop? That doesn't make sense. And y'all might not have done it directly, but you're part of the system. So that makes you part of the problem. If you're not going to use your voice and advocate for what's right, then just shut the hell up. And when y'all take these uniforms off, y'all going to remember all of us. And y'all gonna go on Twitter or Facebook and everything else and see the little news feeds about the protests in D.C. And you're gonna realize you didn't do nothing to make a difference because you were part of the problem.
Yeah, seriously, all you've done tonight is have us protest here instead of protesting there where we were protesting last night.
Exactly. We don't have to go up there to get our voices heard. We'll be back tomorrow.
Anyway, so we don't really give
For real. We can do this all day. Civil rights movement wasn't just 5 days. That shit was weeks, years, and it's still happening now.
When people ask you what you did in this moment, are you going to be proud of your answer?
All you're going to be able to say is you stood there.
You stood there.
Couldn't
On
even
the
look them in
wrong
the eye.
side.
You stood there.
Staring at people holding cardboard fucking signs.
A lot of the officers down there at least acknowledge what we're saying. They at least shake their head. They at least give us eye contact. And the same ones who act like they give a shit are the same ones who've been getting removed. Which just shows us how fucked up you guys are.
You
just
have
because you put on a
power.
uniform does not mean you lose your humanity. The same
Stand
shit
up
that
for
y'all
what's right.
go across fucking seas to do and bomb other people. What the fuck if you just want to fucking kill people? Y'all doing that here. Y'all don't gotta leave to do that.
Why are you wearing a face mask?
They bring in the army and the fucking actual military for people, teenagers. This is our house. Half of y'all probably don't even live here. Y'all get to leave. This is our house. We wake up and we see the same shit tomorrow.
Yep. I was born and raised here. I've never not been able to walk through these streets.
Exactly.
We can walk through the streets unarmed. Unarmed. But white people who are mad that COVID has been extended stormed the Capitol steps.
Bidding on the police.
With
Throwing stuff with AR-15.
This will be this way. Be a big question mark if they stay on the bridge, stay the plan, or go for the highway. They say people will probably stay on the bridge, yeah. What? Yeah, we could.
You still have to lay in bed tonight and think about what you did. Nothing.
That's dumb. That's stupid. And me as a 20-year-old, I have no
And they can't even respect us enough to just take one step back. That's it.
But if we stepped up, we'd be the first one to post something.
They won't even make eye contact. They won't even take one step back and maintain the line just like we did, so that people can get through. Maintain the line, please. Please.
That watching in our past history, police and our oppressors hosing us down with fucking water, sticking dogs on us, beating us at the same fucking stick up right now. You would think our history of what y'all are doing right now would have taught us something. We already went through all of this bullshit of being beaten and tear gassed and maced in jail just so we can walk aside by someone different than our fucking race. You would think that history would have taught you that it wasn't right, that it's not okay. But here we are again, marching for our basic human rights. And here you guys are again, with that and the fucking guns and the military personnel to harm us because we are fighting for our human rights. This has happened for over 400 plus years of us being beaten and whipped and enslaved. We're tired of it. We will free. 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 We will free.
The paycheck you're all collecting to be here really worth it? Stand against your own people. You look nervous and you don't have to be. No one here wants to hurt you. We just want you to see how you're being used.
Well, we just don't want you to hurt us.
Y'all the ones with batons.
We know curfew's coming and we know what orders they might give you. And we witnessed it before when they attacked us to clear us for photo op. We don't want you to do that. So please, if they order you to hurt us when we're peaceful, please don't do that.
You are human. You have to have humanity. That uniform doesn't take away that humanity.
Tell your supervisors you don't want to hurt us.
You probably have kids.
people out here. We're also human.
Yeah.
Just because I'm black and you're white doesn't mean anything. It shouldn't. You can be better. You can fight with us. You don't have to be like this.
How long you been in the service? Damn. How long you been in the service? Damn. How long you been in the service?
Look at her. We're peaceful. When she walks past you, look at her. Make eye contact. You don't need to hurt us. We're fighting for our rights. We're hurting. We're hurting us for a system you're protecting. Do you get that? Look at her. Imagine it was your family, your uncle, your brother who died, who's dying all the time, constantly. We're upset. You don't get that?
This is kind of breathtaking. All my years of protest, I've never seen such a forceful attempt to try to broach humanity between protesters and police.
Don't y'all have a heart?
Right, Derek Chauvin, the cop. He's not your boy. He caught you in that story, you'd be on the ground too. Now you're here. They put you in excess of gear. Right, you've got your Gucci contacts on, it's not even plugged into anything. I see your cable dangling. Why? Scare us?
Black Lives Matter. 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 Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace.
None of
your children are strong
Wanna know what's
enough
really
when
sad?
they stand up to injustice.
This isn't
And
my
I
first time
hope
with
you
this.
realize that one day you're not acting like they want to protest or they want to fight against injustice in America. This is what they'll be met
Test,
with.
test.
Look over and realize that when your children grow up, or if they are of age, if they ever want
All right. Hello. What the heck? Hello. Okay, there it is. All right. So, hi. My name is Psych Mike, and I have some things I want to say real quick before I carry on. If you watch my streams, you know I don't normally cut in. As someone who was in the military in the past, these guys are just here to collect their paycheck. They don't have an option. All right. Look, they don't want to be there more than anyone else wants to be there. You know what I mean? Like, if they aren't there, they're going to get in a lot of trouble, that no one wants to be in. I'm assuming most of them have families. They don't want any part of any kind of, rebellion. All right. That's all I had to say. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
No violence, man. Please, no violence. That's cool. I know. But no violence, man. No violence.
He is 3 times more likely to be murdered for the color of his skin by law enforcement.
Everyone, please be quiet. Now. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Don't use the siren.
Wait a minute, that's the minute.
Yeah, not the siren.
Antifa is here. Antifa is here. So I suggest for your safety, I'm going to be real with y'all, go home. All of you, go home. Because we are not a part of them. So we will not be out here while they are out here. They are violent. Antifa.
Those are the people that start shit. So don't go back to media. All media are not saying we were starting shit. We are peacefully protesting. So if someone starts shit, it is not us peaceful protesters. Let's keep it 100. We are not a part of anything going on.
And you all know that. You've seen us here coming through, policing our own. You know we don't want any violence against you. You know we don't. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere.
Y'all leaving tomorrow? Y'all leaving today? I know you don't live. Did you go back here?
Go back to Iowa. Wherever you came from. Why don't you go back?
Why won't you look at anybody who's black? I've been watching you now, and I see your peer has been looking at people that are black. I'm looking at him too, and I'm observing you, and you're not looking at anybody that's black. What is up with that? What is up with that? Does it make it easier for you to attack us when you don't acknowledge our humanity?
All the white people come to the front.
Why are you not looking at black people? Acknowledge our humanity. Why are you not looking at black people? We're not your fucking enemy. Why don't you fucking take a look at who's talking to you? Because we're the ones that get attacked by you.
You hear
You
me?
won't even look.
I'm right behind y'all.
You won't even look at
You
black
hear me?
people.
I'm right behind all y'all. This is my fight too. This is my fight too.
Acknowledge black bodies. You need to acknowledge black bodies. You need to acknowledge black people. Because these times we're elected to get killed by people like you, by law enforcement, but they don't want to acknowledge his humanity. Look at him. Why can't you look at him? Why won't you look at him? Why won't you look at him and acknowledge his humanity? Look at him. Learn from your peer who's looking at him. Why won't you look at him? I hope everybody's watching this. I hope everybody's noting.
Oh, we got 27,000
and
people watching this.
And then they claim the law enforcement is afraid of us. No, we should be afraid of people that want to acknowledge our bodies and our humanity. That's what we're afraid of. We're afraid of someone who wants to look me in the face. Because it makes it easier for them to kill us. This is how senseless murders of black people happen. This is how it happens. Oh, is the time more interesting? Do you want to leave? Are you tired?
George Floyd! Breonna Taylor!
You know, I'm an artist. I think I'll do a piece that's inspired.
Please, we need art in this world. Thank you.
Yeah, we share it with everyone, basically.
Get the message!
He doesn't see black lives. He doesn't see black lives. Every black person that has been walking here, he has not acknowledged it. That is a threat to me. Because if somebody doesn't acknowledge my humanity and the humanity of other black people, then how how the fuck do I feel safe? That's how black lives get killed. Because if you don't acknowledge someone's humanity, it's easy for you to enact aggression against them.
He won't look at you either.
No, he will not, and he refuses to. And he hears me, and he continues to not look at me. And I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to be right here.
Hey, I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
I'm with you.
Y'all don't need the weapons. Everyone else has put the weapons away. Thank you.
Hey!
Thank you very much.
Stop
We
doing your own
appreciate
thing.
that.
Fucking listen.
We really mean that.
Get over here. Right here.
No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace!
Over here.
No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace!
So it does seem like they're reinforcing their ranks here a little bit. We're 30 minutes away from the curfew.
The B squad. They don't care about you. He don't care about you. Do you think the cop in Minneapolis should be prosecuted for murder? Sure. Should the cop in Minneapolis be prosecuted and convicted of murder?
We're right here protesting, being peaceful, and that's it.
Why won't you look at anyone? It's human decency to make some fucking
What do you think? Yeah, they should be prosecuted?
Y'all president by y'all law.
Look at someone talk to you.
That's too human, sweetheart. That's too human.
You're a robot. You're a pawn. Why?
Who are you serving?
Someone is using a video game controller to control your life.
I just want you to know, I'm going to give you dead in your face.
I don't like
to know exactly who's not willing to help me. Who's not willing to help Americans. Who wants to not protect America.
Black lives matter. 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 Black lives matter.
Back, please. Please. Please, back. Please. Please. Move back.
We all want to be safe.
We don't want to hurt others. If they don't want you to hurt us, just remember, we've been peaceful. We don't want you to hurt us either. So please,
Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
I don't know if you've ever stood on a line of done with weapons when you're unarmed and don't shoot. We ain't here to hurt you. So if they order you to hurt us, keep in mind that's a choice that you get to make and you don't have to do it.
Why y'all turn the lights out on guns? They told us they're secret to the back. That's our terrorist organization. They're back there. We're out there being peaceful protesting, and that's it. That's all. Y'all got people up on the roofs for what? For what reason? We're peaceful protesters. That's all we are. All we want is justice. Liberty and justice for all. That's all that we are asking for. That's it. Why y'all worried about us? Why y'all turned on to us with American flags on your shirts? For what fucking reason? Let me know. Let me know. Please, somebody, anybody, let me know. Any of y'all, let me know. Why y'all this deep for no fucking reason? Not a single person in this crowd has any type of weapon. So why the fuck are y'all here when there's these so-called terrorist organizations like y'all boss behind us?
Black Lives Matter.
Go find out.
I know you can read. Come on.
How long have you been in the Army?
Give them justice. Now y'all trying to turn this into something else. The flag that you got on your shirt. That you got on your shirt. That y'all got on your shirt.
Do you see her? Do you see her? Can you acknowledge her humanity for one moment? Can you look at her? Thank you. Thank you. Acknowledge her. Can you look at her and acknowledge her humanity? Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho.
Please, all set.
You guys signed up to protect and serve. Did you think you'd have your weapons against peaceful protesters in the streets of America?
How are you protecting America? How does that work? What sense does that make? You still have a
Black Lives Matter!
Jesus said to lift up the lowly, not beat them down. Lift up the lowly. Give voices to the silent. The eyes of the blind. Don't hit them with pepper spray.
No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace.
So for everyone watching, we're a little over 20 minutes until the new curfew, which is at 11 p.m. Well, hoping what will happen is what happened last night, and they just don't care about the curfew, and they let us exercise our First Amendment rights to protest, and that this ends peacefully and everyone goes home unharmed. Of course, that's really more up to the guys with shields and weapons than it is to us right now.
No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! Don't shoot! 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 Don't shoot!
Your family is going to see this tape.
I got 30,000 people watching this right now.
30,000. You're afraid. Come on. You can join us. Your friends are watching this. Your family and friends are seeing you. Back anyone?
Hey, what time you wake up tomorrow? I'll be there.
Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
My man looking real nervous.
20 minutes. 20 minutes. Hey, I'm in essential work. I got to take work.
I mean, I know you want to do this, man. You like you're allowed to be out here tonight, bro.
COVID. They were sick of COVID and stormed these Capitol with AR-15s. Where the fuck were y'all when all these white people stormed the Capitol with AR-15s? Where were you? Where the fuck were y'all when white people stormed this Capitol?
What do you think you're
AR-15s.
You all know exactly what they would order you to do if we had AR-15s.
If we came in here with fucking rifles, we'd all be fucking dead. But because they were white, they had the right to march into the Capitol with AR-15s because they were sick of fucking COVID. And not one of them was shot, killed, tased, maced. You know what happened? They were fucking listened to. They heard their concerns. They let them in the building with AR-15s. They let thousands of fucking white men with guns in the Capitol. But we can't even peacefully march. We can't even peacefully march at the White House. So you want to know why we're mad? You don't understand why we're angry.
They attacked us with a photo op.
Where was it? Why did Trump not call y'all? When our people came, because they were sick of the world being shot at the wall. Where were you? Where were you?
They put out the third string right here.
Black people at the wall from left to right. You gotta see them.
All right. I can't hear anything.
My friends and family in 2020, we still have to march for fucking equal rights. We still have to march for our lives. The shit that we learned about in history is going on right now. And this shit's gonna get history. You're gonna be on the wrong side. And while we make history, you're just gonna be the one trying to slow that shit down. And I hope you know there's no stopping this change that is going to happen. We should not have to march to be treated with respect. That's our God-given right. When I came out my mom's vagina, I deserve the right for a future. And it's fucked up that some of y'all are our age. You're supposed to be our role model. You think I want my brothers and sisters being like you?
They'll attack us and then it becomes a
There's no need for all that ammo. There's no need for those weapons.
We're the people that signed up here.
We're scared of you.
I don't see any guns, to the people who are wondering. As far as I can tell, the only people who are showing
I saw reports earlier that the airborne unit was recalled, but that's not true. As you can see, these are airborne units right here. It says so on their arm badges. These are not the same people we've had out here the last few nights. This is a military escalation of force right here. All to keep us from being able to be right over there about a block closer to the White House. That's it. And really, probably to separate us so that there are some protesters over on the side off to the west, which would be to the right to where we're looking, where I was earlier, and then off to the east as well. The majority of the protesters, it seems, has come to here at 16th Street, where we're waiting to see what's going to happen at curfew. But as you can see, no one here seems to have any showing any indication that they're going to leave. Just like last night, it seems like they're going to stay out here past the curfew. We're just hoping that, like last night, they're going to use restraint and not attack peaceful protesters just because of a, frankly, stupid and unconstitutional thing. It's a restriction on our First Amendment rights to tell us that we can't protest.
I don't blame y'all for doing this shit, but I hope you know that
Look at him! What do you see when you look at him? What do y'all see when y'all look at me?
I know that y'all have a hard-ass job, and I understand that a lot of people can't do it. But I still hope you understand that right now that it's wrong. Go home and say that you're on my phone. I hope you are right.
Walking back and forth. Thanks, y'all.
Look at him. Look at his face. Acknowledge him.
They don't see color. They don't see the life of the killer. That's why they kill it. That's why it's easy. That's why it's easy. That's why George Floyd died like that. Believe it or not, 8 fucking minutes.
That's why we're out
8 fucking
here.
minutes. That's how George
be wasting our time, and we feel like you're wasting ours.
That's how George Floyd died.
Say his name. Why won't you say his name? Be a person.
George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. May you rest in peace and may you find justice in heaven too.
Y'all serving system met the disenfranchised us, so y'all know that shit.
Acknowledge his
Y'all
humanity.
continue to keep
Look at
serving
him.
us.
Thank you. You, look at him. You terrify me. You don't see black people. You fucking terrify me. You're a threat to me. You're a threat to me because you don't acknowledge my humanity.
We don't got the opportunity. Because y'all won't give us the opportunity. That's why I'm out here. That's why I'm on the front line. For my kids.
If y'all have kids, they'll never have to grow up and live in a black experience because this shit is tough. We have to grow up way faster than we do. And it's not fair.
Who do you protect? Who are you protecting?
George Floyd! George Floyd!
Bring someone else who sees color. Bring someone else. I don't like him. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Bring someone else.
Alright, they should keep going and going and going. They're not getting it. Some shit ain't clicking.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's 3 times more likely to get killed by you because he's black. And you all fucking know that.
protesters are on the ground, on their knees, with their hands up. If the government is going to attack them, they're going to have to attack people on their knees with their hands up. And that should be a crime against humanity.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
We've got some press here on the front lines with us from Al Jazeera.
No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Our streets! 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 Our streets!
أمامي أو إلى جانبي هم الآن في حالة تأهب في حالة اندماج شغب وحقيقة المظاهرات أو الاحتجاجات طيلة اليوم سلمية لم يسودها أي
Y'all choosing to be out here.
Look at us! See us! Look at us! See us! We are people! We are fighting for the right to choose!
The only thing that's changed about this crowd since curfew is that you see a lot more helmets and goggles, and that's obviously a defensive thing in case of any gas or rubber bullets. We do see...
Y'all go home! Y'all forced me to be here. Y'all want to take it down to my
Even if you don't make a change now, even if you don't make a change now, I need you all to see us, because this isn't a riot. This is simply a plea for our freedom. I'm afraid. I've been raising twins, my brother and sister, since I was in high school. I fear for their safety. I see their innocence every time I see them. You don't have to change in this moment, but I need you to see me in my eyes and know that this is not a riot. This is a plea. This is not a riot. This is a plea. Look me in my eyes.
We don't want more than that.
We do not want more. We want the same right that you get. I want to be able to go to fucking prom. I want to be able to go to graduation. I want to be able to fucking graduate from college and buy my own house. You know what I'm saying? You can be a part of the change that makes that possible. You don't have to call my mom every fucking hour because I'm trying to advocate for what's right and she don't know if I'm going to make it home. That's bullshit.
Why don't you protect her?
Take your shields down! Take your shields down!
If y'all like y'all gotta get physical and make us and throw shit, then that's fine. This is not right. You don't do this to people. The books that I'm going to render you is if you had kids, I would never wish for your kids to have to grow up and live the black experience because this shit is tough. You know how fucking hard it is? You don't.
After curfew, it ain't no different from what it was before.
You get to put that uniform on. We don't get to pick our skin color. But if I could, I would still be black anyway.
Black and proud, baby girl, black and proud.
Always.
Because not everybody's strong enough for this shit. But the ones who are, we grow up and we become successful and we do great things with our lives. My fucking grandmother had to march for this shit. And here I am today.
Chocolate on his body, and I love that shit.
He's not gonna
I wouldn't want to be born any other race.
Peaceful protest. 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 Peaceful protest.
She's a person. Look at her.
Look at her.
You are
Look
doing
at
your
her.
job and you
But
don't
you're
have
asking
to
you to
be
look at
in
her.
the press.
You're asking you to see her humanity.
You think I want my siblings to be like you when they grow up? I would rather go to jail standing up for something that's right than to stand in a uniform and protect some shit that isn't right and isn't true. And that, it is what it is. If I have to give my future for a better future for other people, I'm fine with that. Because this shit is gonna change. Whether you like it or not.
Black lives matter. 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 Black lives matter.
What's happening right now? Why around and out your fucking life the rest of your life?
Black lives matter. Black lives matter.
How many birthdays is missed? How many holidays is missed?
Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter.
I don't care.
Black lives matter.
As long as y'all keep y'all pension and y'all marriage and y'all homes and y'all pension.
I hope if you have kids, that grow up and act like these girls over here who stand up for what's right.
We're all willing to lay our futures on the line for her to get justice and peace.
Exactly. That's the same way I'm willing to lay my shit down on the line for them because I know that they stand with me fully. I know that they're serious about this shit. Because they're going to be at home on Twitter.
Who are you sitting on the line for?
You can stand in solidarity too. You should just cross that line. It's not hard. It's a couple steps.
Are you okay?
Come over here and
What I
just
say to
looking at her.
y'all.
You can start by just looking at her.
Is the paycheck worth it?
I want y'all to understand.
Is your dignity worth it?
Benefits you're gonna have to fight tooth and nail to get from the military.
You can stand right here and do your
You're
job.
protecting a
and
man who don't give a shit
look at
about
her.
you.
You can do your job and still acknowledge her humanity. It is not an either or. It is your ego.
I hope I touch at least one heart tonight. That's all I ask.
Fuck your curfew! Fuck your curfew! Fuck your curfew! They do seem to be filling in ranks here some.
Fuck your curfew. Fuck your curfew.
If you are here and doing your job and you have to stand here and you're standing next to somebody that won't look us in the eye, then you need to fucking talk to that person later. Call in your friends. You're not all bad. Call in your friends. Call in your coworkers. Bring them up to speed because you're not all bad. You don't need to be. You can be doing your job and you can look us in the eye. You can still fight for us and stand for us. And if you see people next to you and in your fucking squad that are not doing that, then you need to call them in. Call them into action. You have this privilege. You have a voice
your
that
help
you
in
don't
this
care
fight.
about. And you can use it to call people in.
Nobody is asking for rights that we don't deserve.
Not your 4 hours for this shit.
job to keep it safe.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! See the signs that we see. Hands up! 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 Don't shoot! 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 Move that camera! Hands up! Move that camera! Hands up!
Y'all don't gotta do the job if y'all don't want to. Y'all chose this shit.
Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran. Sergeant, you didn't join the Army for this, Sergeant.
That's all you need to do. And I encourage you to keep doing that.
You have veterans.
I encourage you to keep doing that.
You have veterans here.
I encourage you to keep doing that.
To quit your job. We're not asking you to fight anybody. We're asking you to acknowledge how we feel. I'm not even 21 years old. Shouldn't have to be out here arguing or yelling at you. I'm 20. I'm 20. I turned 21 in October.
Your generation is fierce. You guys are beasts and we're fucking proud of you.
And my generation has to go to jail for change, and that's what the fuck we're gonna do.
We're
It doesn't
proud
matter.
of you. You're young and you're doing this. We're proud of you.
You don't have nothing to lose by acknowledging us.
Nothing. Nothing to
You
lose.
know how much shit that I can give up?
No, you didn't earn it.
I could fucking lose my life being out here, but it doesn't matter because if that's what causes change, then I'll do that shit.
How would you feel if your mom was
Here.
murdered? How would you feel if your dad was murdered?
There's veterans here. You didn't do this, PFC. You didn't join the Army to do this.
It's like right over there in the crowd.
Fuck yeah, that was awesome.
And I'm scared every day I see that. I'm protecting
I don't know if I've ever seen a protest with a spotlight. Once we put the light on them,
cowards, bro. They up in the window. I'm not tired of standing up every day. I'm not tired of screaming. I'm tired of being scared.
You got seen.
Well, that spotlight has some tricks, huh? I don't know, but this is the best. I've been in a lot of protests. I think this is my first spotlight that the protesters had. We can't breathe.
We can't breathe. We can't breathe. We can't breathe. We can't breathe. We can't breathe. We can't breathe. We can't breathe. We can't breathe. Because we're black. Because we're people. Stop killer cops! 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 I'm not mad. Stop killer cops! I'm not mad. Stop killer cops! Stop killer cops! Stop killer cops! I'm not mad. Stop killer cops! You don't want to be here. Nobody wants to be here, but we all have to be here. You have to be here, and I have to be here. I have to be here for my family. I have to be here for him, and I got to be here for her. I've been here since Saturday, 5 days. I got nothing left. Nothing. I got nothing left. I got nothing. And I'm here every day. I clock in, I go to work, and I show up here.
That's what you wanted? When you enlisted or when you commissioned, is that what you wanted?
Be able to serve and do the same shit that y'all do. I just want y'all to value my life the same way y'all value y'all. That's all. I want y'all to value my life the same way I value mine.
Dissent is patriotic. Oh, hey, they turned off the lights on the White House again. Those fucking pussies. Up, the White House has no lights. They're scared. Man, I lived here a long time. I used to walk by the White House all the time late at night. That ain't normal.
And for those who don't want to be here tonight, but you have to, I'm sorry to you and thank you.
Demilitarize.
I'm right here with you. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at none of these people.
Fuck yeah.
I'm not mad.
For those of you watching, it says demilitarized police on a military vehicle that is being used to block us from getting anywhere near Farragut Square, which is outside the White House. This is not a normal thing for protest. For those of you that aren't from DC, I want you to know that I'm born and raised here and I've become a protest since I was young. It is not normal for us to be kept this far away from the White House. We have done all sorts of protests, civil disobedience, right up against the fence of the White House, and it's never been a problem until Trump was in office.
I gotta be here for my family. I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest.
This is very unprecedented. This is not normal.
I gotta speak to somebody.
Without fear.
For them to keep us this far away from the White House, we do protests all the time. I was born and raised here. I've been going to protests since I was young. It is not normal for us not to be able to get near the White House.
Trump is a fucking coward.
Because he's a coward.
Trump is a fucking pansy and a coward.
And you gotta ask yourself, what does it say about our president that people can't even safely protest near the White House? Something we have done for decades here. Something that should be constitutionally protected. There's
I want to be able to see my grandkids
no
one
more
day.
appropriate place for us to be protesting than outside a government building like the White House. But you all won't let us anywhere near it for literally no fucking reason other than him being a fucking pansy. That church where he attacked us to take a photo of, we can't even get near there right now all day because of y'all, because of the orders they gave y'all that you didn't have to follow. This is not normal. This isn't how we normally lead our lives in a free country that respects the right to protest. And you all know this. Because all of you signed up to fight to defend the Constitution, and you all know that.
When Obama was president, he marched with us. He marched with us. Where is Trump?
And even when we protested Obama, when we locked ourselves to the fence, to the White House fence, they never cleared us out. And ask yourself why that is that it's changed now. And if you think it's just that Americans are worse, something's wrong with what you're thinking. It's not that Americans are worse, it's that the people running the government right now are worse.
How do you feel protecting a bitch? A little scared bitch.
The paycheck, exciting. For you to stand here with us going forward and your arm to the fucking teeth, is that worth it? No? No answer? You don't have an answer.
We got protesting here and you got right. You need to turn around and face them. The only problem is in that White House. The corruption and the injustice. This is what y'all doing this shit for right now.
Hey, you can tell us what you're saying. 35,000 people watching. You can tell them. You don't have to whisper. We're your friends. You can talk to us.
People understand.
You don't have to whisper.
Stand for the other human beings.
You guys should quit your jobs. Definitely quit your jobs.
It might be hard for you viewers to see, but every time they move that light over somewhere where people are, those people go hide.
Like this.
They're clearing the views over us by keeping those people hidden. It's a great tactic I have not seen used at a protest before.
Where's the line for you? How bad does it have to get before you're willing to speak up?
Ask them if they think the cops in Minneapolis should be prosecuted.
Do you think people who murder unarmed civilians should be prosecuted? Feels pretty fucking basic, right? Why here you all are.
You would think it's basic.
It's pretty basic, right? You murder someone who's innocent and unarmed, you go to fucking jail.
Oh, but you forgot if they're black.
Oh, right. We live in a racist fucking country, and you're all standing on that side of the line because you think that murderous cops should be protected.
Excuse me, sir. Can you please take him? Can you
I'm
please
part of the
bring
country,
someone
y'all
instead
fight
of
to
him?
protect me. Y'all fight to protect this country, right?
Why don't you
Y'all fight to
protect
protect
him?
this country,
Where's
right?
your line? How bad does it have to get? Because it's pretty fucking bad, and you're all still standing over there.
Y'all should really just think about, like, what is the line where I would say
Y'all fight to
no
protect this
and I
country,
wouldn't
but I'm
do
part
it?
of this country.
Because the
Y'all not
line
fighting to
keeps
protect me.
moving and it creeps up on you.
This is
If
why
you
I'm here
don't-
today.
If you don't think about it and set that, it becomes really easy to just keep going further and further and further. And they've shown this with psychology protests over and over. They showed it with the prisoners where they just slowly got these guys to torture them more and more and more. Think about what the line is where you would say no if they ordered you to do something and be ready to do it. It does look like they're sending more and more people here. Their lines are getting a little thicker. You just walked in. It's tough to tell if they're actually sending more or just cycling people out.
You can't take off that uniform. You're gonna get back again, sir. This is what the fuck you signed up for. Who are you protecting to be?
We're here all night. Y'all get to go sit down and take a break.
If you're new here, we'd like you to know this is a peaceful protest, and we wish none of you any harm whatsoever. We just wish you won't harm us as well. If they give you orders to harm peaceful protesters, we just ask that you not do it. Just like we're going to police our own and make sure no one here hurts you, because we want y'all to go home to your families too.
For the people that left and right of you, but
Everybody
you,
here go home to their families.
you're supposed to know better.
From my point of
You're
view,
supposed to be looking out for us.
see this shit from my point of view. That's all I ask. If y'all can look at this shit from my point of view, I understand this about
I'm hurt that you're not next to us. No. You should be with us. You should be with us. You should be with us.
Why are you on the wrong side? What are y'all getting ready for? You got gloves and signs and shit. What the fuck are y'all getting ready for? This is not a war zone. Except y'all made it back.
Yeah, we're not white Republicans with a bunch of guns that get to storm buildings uncontested.
How good are you gonna feel using that gun on somebody who ain't got a weapon? You good with that? You try to be on the news too?
Protesting COVID-19. You can say something else. And AR-15 killed 3 weeks ago.
Protect anything you did. Who are you defending? Do you march in the nation's capital?
Who do you serve?
Count as a deployment for you? So you signed up to fight for orcs.
Why are you afraid? We're all unarmed.
What freedom?
I've literally never seen or touched a gun in my life.
Black Lives Matter.
I do need guns.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Why you taking your nameplate off, man?
Remember?
What's so funny back there?
Hey, where your name tag?
What's so funny back there? Ain't shit funny right now.
You were smiling and everything. Where your name tape at,
These
man?
two fucks right here in the black, yeah, with the smirking and shit, ain't shit funny.
This guy's just a kid.
I don't want my name to be called. I don't want to be next. I don't want to be another name on the fucking list. I don't want to be another statistic. Say her name. Y'all gotta call the kids. Say her name. 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 They can be your daughter. They can be your son. They can be your sister. Imagine your sister like before. Y'all got to imagine.
So we're now 30 minutes past curfew without any action. Hopefully that's a good indication that they're going to do what they did last night and just let the protest play out for the night. You know, like you would expect of a constitutional democratic republic where you have a freedom to protest.
Because it's the system you are.
I'm ready to go for my justice. I'm ready to go to war for my life.
With it being so past curfew and them not coming after us, and my battery is starting to get a little low, I think I'm going to start moving to the back, just see what's going on.
Listen, they start pepper spraying, tear gas and shit. Come to the table we got set up right here at 16th and 9, right across the street, right there. Literally right there, we got a table set up.
Here's the guys with the spotlight. One of the best things I've ever seen at a protest. Not something I've seen before. This is really remarkable. Very impressive. These are the ones writing white supremacy on military vehicles. Dissent is patriotic. Stop killer cops. I can't breathe. Hey, y'all are doing awesome work. So as you can see, everywhere you look, it's just a peaceful protest with people just here making their voices heard. There's no reason for the government to use any violence. There was really no reason for them to bring out the military today or to push us back. They still have the fence up that they had yesterday that seemed to work fine keeping us at bay. And you know, just from this side of the fence, it was frankly, a little refreshing to have the police kept away from us after what they did to us the night before. It just felt like they were a lot less likely to attack us with a big fence in between us. So yeah, thank you all for watching and tuning in. You know, I know not everyone can be here, and it helps to know that a lot of people are watching, so that when I'm talking to these, these Air Force guys with shields and weapons, it's nice to know I had like 35,000 people watching my back on there. So thank you all so much. Make sure that you're calling your representatives, call your local police station, call your mayors. You know, don't waste this moment in this.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. For many of us, this has been one of the saddest, most painful weeks in memory. Depressing doesn't even begin to describe it. We have watched as mobs of violent cretins have burned our cities, defaced our monuments, beaten old women in the street, shot police officers, and stolen everything in sight, stealing everything. How many innocent Americans have these people hurt? How many have they murdered? We don't know that number, but it's the country itself that so many of us worry about at this point. After we've watched what's happened over the last week, how do we put the society back together? Can we? We don't know that either. If you're grieving for America tonight, you are not alone. Millions feel the same way you do. So many of our leaders, by contrast, are not grieving. They seem exhilarated. They feel nothing as our nation descends into anarchy. They see chaos instead as an opportunity, a chance to solidify their control, to increase their market share, to win elections. They have no interest in talking about the details of what is actually happening out there on our streets. In fact, they're hiding those details. They're demanding that you forget what you saw. Don't forget it. Remember all of it, every bit, because it's proof of who they are. This is who they are.
Whoa!
That's what they're defending. That's what they're encouraging. It has nothing to do with civil rights. It's violence. And the criminals you just saw on the screen are not protesters. The people cheering them on from their TV studios have no patience for real protests or real protesters. Just in April, Democrats in New Jersey arrested a woman for trying to plan a rally, a protest at the state capitol. The New York Times said nothing when they did that because they approved. That's how they really feel about any political expression they can't control. They crush it. What they support is more power for themselves, and they're willing to use gangs of thugs to get it. Here's one of their protesters. NBC News wouldn't show you that video, ever. Neither would CNN under any circumstances. No justice, no peace, they chant as the man tortures a dog. These are the worst people in America, and our leaders have let them do whatever they want. So, of course, they want more. Their latest demand is that we eliminate the police entirely. No more law enforcement in this country. That would mean more power for the mob. They could do anything. It would mean never-ending terror for you and for your family. That's why they want it. Watch.
And we're calling our aid and our city council members and all our elected officials to defund the police! Defund the police! Defund the police! Defund the police!
Defund the police. No sane person would dare to have said something like that in public just a week and a half ago. Now a member of Congress has endorsed the idea, Rashida Tlaib. So what would happen to our country if we eliminated law enforcement? Eric Garcetti is the mayor of Los Angeles, the second biggest city in America. His city would devolve into a murderous hellscape within hours if the police left. But Garcetti, who is in charge of the city, won't push back against this idea. Instead, he kneeled in subservience before the people demanding it.
LA Mayor Eric Garcetti joined protesters moments ago. What did he have to say?
Yes, he came out this morning, Jake, and he took the time to come out among the protesters. He knelt while he was out there saying and showing his solidarity for the movement, for the protesters here today. And I can tell you that today, this daytime protest has been very peaceful, very calm. Lots of chanting, singing.
He kneeled. Our leaders are kneeling before the mob. The atavistic ritual of self-abasement, of defeat. Suddenly, many are performing this ritual, including police around the country. The mob wants victory, but more than that, it wants the total humiliation of its enemies.
I work for Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry that I scared you. But since I work for that company, my CEO has told me to come out today and to bring you on your knees because you have white privilege. So if they see that a white person is getting on their knees, that shows solidarity for the situation. And could you just please apologize for your white privilege? Just apologize.
I am. I'm trying to think of the right words to say because that's a big thing to say.
It's big.
It comes from.
It's large in this country.
I'm incredibly sorry.
Why do we kneel? We kneel because we've lost. We kneel before our victors because they have won. We put down our resistance. We beg for their mercy. But mobs rarely forgive. We're on your side, we shout. We're in solidarity. Spare us. But they never do.
Why are you? We're on your side! We're on your side! Holy what? We're on your side!
We're on your side as the rock comes through the window. You think the mob cares? No. What's happening to this country? Why are Americans surrendering to violent mobs? Well, because they've been told they have to. Everything we're now watching, the looting, the arson, the killing, has a purpose. The purpose, we're told again and again, is to end racist police violence against African Americans. We are told that that is the single greatest scourge in this country.
For the past 400 years stemming from slavery, there has been a genocide of black people in this country.
I'm sick and tired of seeing black men and women be killed and nothing be done about it.
We had a black man in the office, bro. They were still killing us, bro.
Stop killing us! Stop killing us! Stop killing us!
Stop killing us. It's chilling. And if you believe it and you're a decent person, you will be moved by it because it's awful. No American should ever be mistreated by those in authority, much less killed. The abuse of power is always and everywhere a sin, and it's increasingly common here. We should always work to end it. In this case, the death of a man at the hands of police in Minneapolis turned out to be a metaphor for abuse of power. That death has led to demands that we fire the nearly 700,000 police officers who work in the United States, and that we free the 1.5 million criminals who are now behind bars. In America, Joe Biden told us recently, quote, just the color of your skin puts your life at risk. Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey strongly agreed with that. Quote, "We have so many people in our country," Booker said yesterday, African-American men, mostly unarmed, being murdered by police officers and no way of holding them accountable. So many people murdered by police officers, unarmed, says Cory Booker. You're hearing a lot of people in authority tell you that every day, every hour. One group of pro athletes just announced that, quote, "It seems like every week a new tragedy unfolds before our very eyes where people are being killed by police violence. Each time we tweet, we pray, we mourn, only to repeat the cycle a few days later," end quote. In the words of Ben Crump, who's the lawyer representing George Floyd's family in Minneapolis, what we are witnessing here in America is, quote, genocide. Genocide. If you believed we were seeing genocide, then you might understand the riots now in progress. There's nothing worse than genocide. But is it happening? Is any of this true? We should find out. Facts matter. What exactly are the numbers? We found the numbers, and we're going to go through them with you in some detail tonight because it's worth it. Since 2015, the Washington Post has maintained a comprehensive database of fatal police shootings in this country. Last year, the Post logged a total of 1,004 killings. Of the 802 shootings in which the race of the police officer and the suspect was noted, 371 of those killed were white, 236 were black. The vast majority of those killed were not, in fact, unarmed. The vast majority were armed, and African-American suspects were significantly more likely to have a deadly weapon than white suspects. Yet more white suspects were killed. Overall, there were a total of precisely 10 cases in the United States last year, according to the Washington Post, in which unarmed African Americans were fatally shot by the police. There were 9 men and 1 woman. Now, as we said, a lot is at stake. The country is at stake. So we want to take the time now to go through these case by case into the specifics. The first was a man called Chinara Feep. He was killed by a Knoxville police officer called Dylan Williams. According to Williams, Feep attacked him, choked him, and then used a taser on him, the suspect on the police officer, before the officer shot him. 5 eyewitnesses corroborated the officer's claim, and the officer was not charged. The second case concerns a man called Marcus McVeigh. He was, by any description, a career criminal from San Angelo, Texas. He'd been convicted of aggravated assault, assault on a public servant, and organized criminal activity. At the time he was killed, he was wanted on drug dealing charges. A Texas state trooper pulled him over. McVeigh fled in his car, then he fled on foot into the woods. There he fought with a trooper and was shot and killed. The officer was not charged in that case. Marzua Scott assaulted a shop employee. When a female police officer arrived and ordered the suspect toward her car, he instead charged her and knocked her to the ground. At that point, she shot and killed him. The entire incident was caught on body camera. The officer was not charged. Ryan Twyman was being approached by 2 LA County deputies when he backed into one of them with his vehicle. The deputy was caught in the car door. He and his partner opened fire. The deputies were not charged in that case. Melvin Watkins of East Baton Rouge, Louisiana, was shot by a deputy after he allegedly drove his car toward the deputy at high speed. The deputy was not charged. Isaiah Lewis, meanwhile, wasn't just unarmed. He was completely naked. Williams broke into a house and then attacked a police officer. The police tased Williams, but he kept coming at them and attacking. The officer shot him. They were not charged. Atiana Jefferson was shot by a Fort Worth deputy called Aaron Dean. A neighbor had called a non-emergency number after seeing Johnson's door open, thinking something might be wrong. Police arrived. Johnson saw them approach from a window and was holding a gun at the time. According to body camera footage, the officer shot Johnson within seconds. Jefferson, that officer, has been charged with homicide. Christopher Whitfield was shot and killed in a place called Ethel, Louisiana. He had robbed a gas station. Deputy Glenn Sims said his gun discharged accidentally while grappling with Whitfield's. Sims, who is black himself, was not charged in that killing. Kevin Mason was shot by police during a multi-hour standoff. While Mason turned out not to have a gun, Mason claimed to have a gun, claimed to be armed, and vowed to kill police with it. They believed him. Mason had been in a shootout with police years before. And finally, the 10th case concerns Gregory Griffin. He was shot during a car chase. An officer called Giovanni Crespo claimed he saw someone pointing a gun at him. Later, a gun was in fact found inside the vehicle, and yet Officer Crespo was charged anyway with aggravated manslaughter. Those are the facts. That is the entire list from 2019, last year. 10 deaths, In 5 deaths, an officer was attacked just before the shooting occurred. That is not disputed. 1 allegedly was an accident. That leaves a total of 4 deaths during a pursuit or in a standoff. So out of 4, in 2 of those cases, in fully half, the officer was criminally charged. Is it possible that more of these officers should have been charged? Of course it's possible. Justice is not always served, that's for sure. But either way, this is a very small number in a country of 325 million people. This is not genocide. It's not even close to genocide. It is laughable to suggest it is. In fact, the number of police killings is dropping. In 2015, during Barack Obama's presidency, 38 unarmed black Americans and 32 whites were slain by police. Overall totals have fallen since then, and they have fallen far more dramatically for African American men. Last year was the safest year for unarmed suspects since the Washington Post began tracking police shootings. It was the safest year for both white and black suspects. At the same time, this country remains a dangerous place for police officers. 48 of them were murdered in 2019, according to FBI data. That's more than the number of unarmed suspects killed of all races. One final number for you, because it matters. In 2018, 7,407 African Americans were murdered in the United States. If 2019 continues on a similar trajectory, and we hope it doesn't, but if it does, that would mean that for every unarmed African American shot to death in the United States by police, more than 700 were murdered by someone else, usually by someone they know. Again, those are the facts. They are not in dispute. Are African Americans being hunted, as Joy Reid recklessly claimed on MSNBC recently? Or is something else happening? Is our nation being ripped apart by a total and complete lie, a provable lie, a lie used by cynical media manipulators and unscrupulous politicians who understand that racial strife, race hatred, is their path to power, even if it destroys the country? You have the facts now, and you can decide what's really going on.
For consecutive congressional, special, and primary elections over the past 13 months. So next, I want to transition to talking about some of the things going on around the country. The First Amendment does not give...
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing with it. Absolutely nothing with it. It's not fair. It's not right. Because my battle buddies is out here doing this shit. No black man want to be on this side, but he can be on this side. Because I know you feel it. Because I know you can't go to every city in America and feel it. I don't want to kneel. Because I can't.
Alright, so I'm going to push y'all back just a touch. 1 step. Everyone take 1 step back.
I know y'all can't. I know. Please don't do nothing. Y'all please don't touch my battle buddies. It's just a show of force. He just want to show y'all how small his dick is. This is what this is.
So, all the people in the front, take a knee.
This is what this is. He wants y'all to, he wants something to happen. He wants something to pop off.
Take a knee, take a knee, take a knee.
He wants y'all, I'm telling y'all, bro, I done been here. I am a veteran.
Everybody on this side, take a knee.
I deployed to support an operation.
Everybody back there, take a knee.
This shit is calculated. We was out here. There was no reason to gas the crowd. Absolutely no reason to gas the crowd. Okay. What, right now? Okay.
Please, if you're not on your knee, if you're disabled, please, do not hurt yourself trying to get down. But if you are not disabled, respect black bodies and take a knee one more time. What we're going to do right now is a moment of silence for all those black bodies that have dropped. And then after that, I'm not going to read all of them because we all know the list is too goddamn long. But I'm going to read some of the most prominent cases and give a description of what happened to them. So we can all understand why we really are here is to reflect on them. So right now we're going to take our moment of silence. It's going to be about 10, 15 seconds. Please, please, please be quiet. And the person next to you or behind you is talking, they are disrespecting those black bodies. We are going to start Garner. Eric Garner was choked out by an illegal choke move that was done by the NYPD while he was just minding his business on a street corner. Michael Brown, who sparked the Ferguson protests, he was shot in the back by the police. Laquan McDonald also died during a routine traffic stop. Isn't that crazy? How white bodies can get pulled over, and yet for some reason they have the chance to walk away, but black people do not? Does that not upset you as humans, as Americans, to know that if you look to your left and you look to your right, you might see somebody that doesn't even have the same opportunity to see 40 that you do? Tamir Rice had the police called on him. Tamir Rice had the police called on him. And he was a 12-year-old boy who was described as a 21-year-old man because black children are constantly forced to grow up too fast. And before the police could even ask a question, they pulled out their guns and they cut his life short. Tamir Rice's mother will never see her son graduate high school. She'll never see her son go to prom. She'll never get to experience all those things that every other mother gets to experience with their children. I'm sorry I'm getting so choked up. I'm so sorry I'm getting so choked up, but guys, you really don't understand. And you know what? More than half of you do understand the pain of being black in America. It is a heavy load. I am crying because I have a little brother too. And I want to be able to see him graduate. And I want him go to prom. And I want to be able to see him go to college. I want that for him. I don't ever want him to get pulled over and be shaking at 10 and 2 because he's not sure if he's going to make it home that night. Sandra Bland died in police custody. The people that were supposed to protect her killed her instead. And it was a mysterious death that they blamed on a suicide for a woman that was not suicidal. They dispose of our bodies and they cover up our deaths. They make excuses. Oh, well, he used to smoke weed back in the day. So the fuck what? He has a criminal record. So the fuck what? Does that mean that he deserves to die at a routine traffic stop? Corinne Gaines, a woman from Baltimore. We do not talk about all the black women that have dropped. Enough. Got shot and killed in her own car in front of her children. Philando Castile died in front of his daughter and tried to console her mother. What little girl should have to do that? This is the reason why we're angry. This is the reason why we're here. This is the reason why we fight. This is the reason why we vote. This is the reason why we are loud. Because we refuse to be silent. Because there are too many black bodies that don't get to speak for themselves. And all the black bodies in uniform behind me don't even respect their own people enough to just even raise their fist in solidarity.
They can't. They can't. They want to. They want to. I'm a bet they want to, sis. I promise you they do. They promise you they do.
They won't even nod in agreement.
They do. They say it. You just don't speak the military language. They say it. I say.
I'm a military veteran as well, and guess what? I can still speak my goddamn mind. I served my country And I'm more afraid to die in it than I was to die overseas.
అయిపోయింది ఇంకా నీళ్ళు కరెంట్ ఉంది నీళ్ళు అయిపోయింది ఇంకా నీళ్ళు కరెంట్ ఉంది ఒక్క నిమిషం నీళ్ళు అయిపోయింది ఇంకా నీళ్ళు కరెంట్ ఉంది ఒక్క నిమిషం
and got shot by a white man.
నీళ్ళు అయిపోయింది ఇంకా నీళ్ళు
This is the America we live in.
కరెంట్ ఉంది
And this is why a change.
నీళ్ళు అయిపోయింది ఇంకా నీళ్ళు కరెంట్ ఉంది ఒక్క నిమిషం నీళ్ళు అయిపోయింది ఇంకా నీళ్ళు కరెంట్ ఉంది ఒక్క నిమిషం నీళ్ళు అయిపోయింది ఇంకా నీళ్ళు కరెంట్ ఉంది నీళ్ళు అయిపోయింది ఇంకా నీళ్ళు
2 and 3 years old how to live as a black person in America. No toddler, no child has to bear that. Let them be children. We are tired of growing up too fast. We are tired of being adulterized. We are tired of it. Black people should live the same normal lives that you and all of your children get to. Black children do not get the same education as white children. Still, public schools are being defunded in low-income neighborhoods. So they don't get the same educational opportunities, the same books, the same paper, the same teachers that you get at your white schools. Black people have to worry about going to the emergency room because they're not sure if they're actually going to make it out. We tell the doctor our pain. We tell them that it's a 10 and they tell us it's actually just a 6 and send us home. They don't prescribe us the proper medication. They let us die from diseases that white people do not die from.
Like childbirth.
Like childbirth, diabetes, all types of different things. I could go on and on and on. We need to make sure that these officers and every other officer get that proper mental health care. I know y'all don't care about them, but if they don't take care of themselves, they will not take care of us. We need a DOJ that actually listens to us and will repeal reforms that could help us. We need better police training for those low-income neighborhoods.
No, it's just a scare tactic. Y'all okay?
Look,
Y'all okay?
don't pay attention to the charade that's behind me. At the end of the day, all of this shit is Trump's way of saying, fuck all of us. Well, guess what? Fuck him too! Fuck Trump! I could go over and on about all the inequality that black people go through, all the injustices, all the brutality, all the just disregard punished and disrespected, I could go on for hours probably. But I'm going to end on this. Like I said before, because I want it to resonate in your minds, I want you to keep this thought with you. When you go to the polls in November, remember this day. Remember Emmett Till. Remember all of the black bodies. Remember that we built this house with our black hands. Remember that we paved these streets with our black hands. Remember that we built this country with our black hands for free. Taxes. Do you pay taxes? Do you pay taxes? You pay some taxes, don't you? We pay them. So they should serve us. So if they do not want to serve us, we will find people that will. Research your local, research your local elections. Research who is running in your districts. Research your sheriffs. Research your judges. Because everything starts at home.
Ask them questions. Where do you stand on Black Lives Matter? Ask your politicians that.
Write to your politicians. Make sure that they know that you are watching and you're going to hold them accountable. But yes, all I ask you to do is use your voices and vote. Never stay silent. Do not be oppressed. Do not be scared. To go ahead and be yourself. All black people out here, you guys know that black is beautiful. Black is excellent. Black is power. Yes! The only reason why we've lasted in this country for 400 years is because we're not giving the fuck up.
No, we're not.
We will never give up until this fight is over. Because at the end of the day, you're going to give us what we fucking owe, what you fucking owe us. You're going to give us what the fuck you owe us. Thank you guys so much for being so understanding. The only reason why I speak the way I do is because I'm in pain. And the black community is in pain. And we are ready for a change.
We are together.
So thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I could cry thinking about that. Thank you all for protesting peacefully, for controlling yourselves, and for showing them that we are better than they will ever be. No justice! No peace! 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 No justice! No peace!
ఆగే కరెంట్ ఉంది ఒక్క నిమిషం నీళ్ళు అయిపోయింది ఇంకేం నీళ్ళు ఎందుకు ఫీజు ఉంటుంది ఫీజు బంద్ చేసి ఆగే కరెంట్ ఉంది ఒక్క నిమిషం
Open the Bible and pray every morning. Ask God for a passage in the Bible to direct you.
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
When I say something after I speak, I want y'all to scream and let the energy out. So if I say George Floyd, when I say something, I want y'all to let the energy out. So, and I want y'all to scream to the top of your lungs. So when I say George Floyd, I want you to scream and say, ah! Do we understand? George Floyd. Breonna Taylor. Tamir Rice. Eric Garner. Sandra Bland. McCain. Barbecue Matt. Justice.
No peace.
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 No justice.
No peace.
How many of y'all walk around every day feeling like you're being watched? How many of you all out here walk around every time you go in the store and feel like you're being the fuck watched?
That's me. That's me.
How many times when you walk on the street, another white old woman crosses the street because you're walking the same fucking street? How many times do we get blamed for the same shit in America over and over and over again? How many times have we been killed in the last year? How many times have a police officer been convicted? How many times has one of your family members been a fucking crackhead because Nixon drug drugs in the ghetto? How many times does a black male get pulled at a traffic stop, pulled out his car, and then drugs planted on him? How many fucking times do you come out of jail with a felony and can't get no fucking job?
Speak well. Speak well.
How many fucking times is one of my cousins gonna lay flat on the fucking pavement? How many times is our father said coming home? How many times have your family members stole from you because they on drugs? How many?
Y'all won't worry about going home, but y'all signed up for this goddamn job. Half of these people were born this way.
This is our real fucking lives. This is not a test. This is real fucking life. Most of the things I just listed, look at your neighbor, white people, black people have been through this every single day.
What's your name? Can I get your name?
I want you to understand because some of you are here for a hashtag in the photo. I want you to understand that this is a real fucking life. If these black men wasn't in military uniform, they could be shot too. Let's be clear. Let's be fucking clear. You guys have no idea. You think it's bad on the TV? You think it's bad on Instagram? Come into our hood and see what's really good. From 12 to 12. Showing up with 12. On some of that shit. I don't know where y'all from, but I'm from North Carolina.
You get stormed the Capitol with AR-15 rifles
because you're tired of fucking COVID.
Take it from the
but
top.
we can't punch people peacefully.
Take it from the top.
They gotta protect property, but they didn't do the same shit when they were storming it because they wanted their business open. They wanted America open. So they stormed with AR-15s. And that shit was like, oh, okay, let's let them walk straight up with guns. They were armed. Every one of our people are dying unarmed, but you're letting all these white people storm the Capitol with AR-15s because they're tired of COVID, because they don't want to follow the rules. But y'all are telling us, oh, follow the rules and you won't get killed. And they break the laws and break the rules and they get a free pass. We're buying fucking white people Burger King. We are protecting people that shoot up clubs, homes, schools. We are putting them in the car safely, but we are shooting people that are running away. We are shooting by people that are doing nothing. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of my people being looked at as we're criminals just because our skin is different. We have let this happen way too long. Nothing is changing. We are letting white people walk up to this Capitol right here because we're tired of COVID. We're tired of, we want our business open. We're tired of being quarantined. So we want to go and up here armed. We're armed and we're deep. This is not 10 people. This is hundreds of white nationalists storming the Capitol over COVID. And guess what? Not one was shot. Not one was killed. Not one was touched. But we are peacefully marching. And we get tear gas, we get arrested. This is bullshit. Until America wakes up and justifies that what we're doing here with the police and black people is incriminating, then we will never change. Nothing is going to change until they admit to racism. Everyone wants to deny it, and it is happening every day. I work with little black children. It is sad that I have to sit there in the face of a 5-year-old boy and teach him how to act with the police. It's sad because I have a son. I have a 4-year-old that I'm going to have to tell that his words, his innocence does not matter. If he's, it makes me angry, and honestly, it hurts me. More than me being mad, it's not about us being mad, angry black women or mad, angry black people. We are hurting. To have to sit down and tell my 4-year-old, who I think that kids should have their voices heard. Everyone is entitled to have their voices heard. Children should be able to be raised in a loving country that loves them and protects them. Their voices should be heard. So for me to tell my 4-year-old son one day that because he's black, his voice does not matter. It doesn't matter how innocent he is. It doesn't matter if he's in the right. It doesn't matter anything. Because he is black, if an officer pulls him over, he is to shut up, shut his mouth, and do everything this officer says, no matter what. That's your privilege. That right there is white privilege. The fact that you don't have to talk to your sons. The fact that you don't have to worry about if your kids will make it back or not. That is white privilege. That is a privilege of yours to not have to worry about every day whether your children will make it back or not. That is a privilege they have. So they should actually own up to the privilege they have and stop acting like we are angry for nothing. We have to take our little children who are innocent and tell them your voice no longer matters if a cop pulls you over. And they still might die. Even abiding by the law, they still might die because they felt their skin made a cop threatened or he thought he might have a gun.
You mentioned the white protesters that came with guns and stormed buildings. How do you think they would react if this group did that?
They maced us, beat us, and arrested us for marching. If we stormed the Capitol with guns and armed, all of these lovely thousands of black people, all of these military people that are here with these tanks and these military weapons, we all would be dead. It would be another massacre just for us being out here with an armed thing. Whether we were licensed to carry or nothing, it would not matter. The fact that we are black and armed, they would feel threatened, and there's no way us black people would have been able to march and storm a Capitol with AR-15s. We would have been shot. We wouldn't even made it there because the color of our skin threatens them.
The number is 866-588-0569. The number is 866-588-0569. need that. We need that protection. Thank you.
Come on, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've been experiencing these days? Talk to the people, come on.
I just got information that they're cycling out the SORT guys with the 82nd Airborne. So there is going to be a confrontation here today. The barriers at the White House keeps getting farther and farther back. By the time that next week gets here, we might be in Southeast because they keep moving the barrier back every day. Monday when we was here, we was attacked by the orders of Mr. Barr, and now we have these guys appear to be Department of Justice guys. What organization y'all with, gentlemen?
We saw Barr right before that happened. He came out and he came and surveyed us or something.
He came out and talked to all the white shirts, and then as soon as he left, all hell broke loose. And they shot people with rubber bullets, and I got hit with a tear gas projectile in the leg. I have a knot still in my leg from that. And then the mayor denounces the brutality, saying that that was the federal police, not the local police. But the local police wouldn't protect us from the federal police. Just like good cops don't protect us from bad cops. And then shout out I want to read a statement from Council Chairman Phil Middleton. For those who don't know, D.C. is ran by 3 council members and a mayor. We're not a state. Well, we pay taxes like a state, and it's taxation like representation. Henceforth brought you the Boston Tea Party, a riot that gave birth to America with millions of dollars in damage. Let me read his statement, because he's actually in support of the protest. Let me make sure I get this message out. So Chairman Phil Middleton says, as we approach evening and another probable night of protest, I want to emphasize the overarching message that's gotten lost in controversy, that these protests are a demand for racial justice. Unfortunately, the violence of the first 2 nights and last night's militaristic rhetoric from President Trump have overshadowed this message. Police brutality sparked these protests. It is not appropriate for government to respond with hyped-up militarization, armed National Guard, and U.S. Army troops, nor is it right to tear gas demonstrators for a photo opportunity. This is, again, from Chairman Phil Middleton. What our city and the country needs is acknowledgement of injustice and real commitment to reform. Federal forces have little, if any, training in First Amendment activities. I worry there will be violent overreaction. Our local police do have training, and we must use it to be a calming presence and not be provocative. These protests have a legitimate purpose, and we should all support. We have so many people on our live stream talking about all lives matter, but since when in America has all lives matter? Apparently, we didn't have healthcare workers and people on the front line trying to save lives with the equipment they needed, but you can clearly see that these guys have all the equipment they could ever want, could ever have. They have no problem arming the militarization of police and the oppression of people. They have a problem with finding the equipment to save people's lives. This is the perfect storm, and I'm telling you, this looks like the South Africa apartheid system right before it failed. Right before South African apartheid failed, they called Nelson Mandela a terrorist. That's like they calling these protesters terrorists. The domestic terrorists are the police in uniform who are, in fact, white supremacists. And they have been infiltrated by white supremacists in all levels of law enforcement, and this is not the We Act Ready report. This is your 2006 FBI report. We just heard from Obama today, who gave us a bunch of more beautiful bullshit because he never addressed the systemic racism within America. He says that we're making progress, but the progress is too slow. And those who have a different opinion, I urge you to go read a letter from Birmingham jail where Martin Luther King said about going slow. We are here to speed things up, and it's a final change. This is South Africa's apartheid system about to fall. America is an empire, and all empires either expand or contract. And the American empire is in contractions. They are in contractions. And what's wrong with that? Why does America have to be an empire? Can't we just be a fucking country? What's wrong with just being a country? You know, we have to rule the world? This is the same way they treat other people around the globe in other countries when they're overthrowing governments, assassinating people, killing them with economic sanctions. If this is how they treat people in front of the White House who have committed no crimes, are here actually addressing crimes that have been committed, how do you think they treat people in the dark? That goes to the CIA, the FBI, the National Security Agency, Department of Defense Intelligence. The whole system needs to be changed. And that's what we're here to do, to usher in that change.
You said this is a perfect storm. What did you mean by that?
Because every chaos creates opportunities. And let me read a statement for that in front of me. But the COVID-19 situation has put capitalism on trial. Now you have 35–40% of people in every city who are behind in their rent, behind in their mortgages. Are you going to evict 35% of a city? What, at no fault of their own? What are you going to do? Are you going to bail out the people like you bailed out Wall Street, like you bailed out the banks? Corrupt banks, banks that have been convicted of crimes. Banks like HSBC that was told it was too big to jail. This is where we are. We are at a crossroads. We're either going to turn to the left and go progressive, or we're going to turn right and go fascist. And this right now is the last days of an empire fighting to maintain itself. I got a few quotes I want to read, but I want to make sure we get some more independent voices in here. Got something you want to say, brother?
Man, I've been here for 9 days, bro. 9 days, man. I got 2 daughters, and I'm trying to make sure that nobody fucks with. You gotta understand that, man. I am a Colombian American man, all right? My father is the same color as everybody, all right? He brown. I know I'm a little bit lighter, but you gotta talk to my mom about that. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of any situation, I work just like them. I work just like the people back here. We do things for this country to make the future better. And that's why I'm here 9 straight days. I live 2 blocks from here. 2 blocks. Violence from the police. Violence from the police. Violence from the police. And intimidation. But once we step, they feel intimidated with all their gear. It's all bullshit. And don't listen to the media either. They trying to put some bullshit on everybody too.
How did you feel on Monday when you learned that the violence was all the creative photo op for Trump?
This shit was bullshit. I was there. He didn't even open the damn Bible. He held it just like Hitler. Come on, man. If it's not noticeable, then you are just dumb as shit, bro. Shit that's going on in America has been happening forever, and I pray to God that shit changes, bro. My kids will not grow up in this, and I will be a part of that change along with all these people. God bless all y'all.
What is this issue of police brutality and police racism mean to you?
I mean, it's personal to me because I've been harassed. I've been beat by the cops for tents on my window, for a little bit of gram of weed that is now legalized. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. I've been doing this since I was 16, bro. I've been on my own since I was 16. Doing shit my way. But never, ever trying to commit no crimes. But since they feel scared and they're trained to be scared, they come and attack us for no reason.
If there's like one message you want people watching this to take away from this protest, what is it?
Join the fucking protest. Join that shit. Fuck all the recording. Come over here and march with us. Be on the streets with us. Make your presence felt. Because it's important for change in this world. Fuck all the bullshit. Fuck everybody that's trying to say, oh, it's coming, it's coming. Nah, like my man said, it is not fast enough. It's not fast enough. Our kids grow up every single day. Their bones grow every single day. As fast as they grow, shit should change.
Do you talk to your kids about this?
All the time. I just got off FaceTime with my 2 kids. Stay home. Stay home. They have no place over here right now. They too little.
But what are you telling them about like the issue about just in general about police?
I try to tell them that police are good because I don't want them to be scared. But I know the truth. And when they get a little bit older, I will tell them the truth. They've seen it happen to me. So. I'm anonymous, bro. I'm anonymous.
If we look down here, all the military, they all have their shields down, nothing in their hand standing. If we go down here, why are we having these ones who keep one by one pulling out their bats and sticking them out, as if anybody on this side is doing anything to threaten them. I just want to know, they didn't have them 5 minutes ago, and nothing has changed. So I'm just trying to figure out in the last 5 minutes what made them feel so threatened that they needed to pull out a weapon that they beat people out. They beat people with.
You're shaking your head. What do you want to say?
Okay, so, okay, you're not threatened, so why pull it out? What is your point?
They just have a shield.
Why can't you put it away? Thank you. Put it away.
Put it away. Put it away.
Put them away. Excuse me. Thank you. Put them away. Put them away. Put them away. Thank you. No one up here is being violent. No one up here is doing anything for you to have a weapon in your hand.
We just don't want weapons.
That's what triggers us to start things. Thank you. I just want, that's what starts us. That's what makes us start.
So for those of you watching, that was something I haven't seen from anyone else here, was an acknowledgement of us. They actually listened, that one actually listened to us, made eye contact, spoke with us. That's something I haven't seen from any of the other law enforcement out here. And if you saw, the crowd reacted extremely positively. They cheered for it, and that's what we want. That's what we want, is for them to just show some solidarity and humanity with us.
You asked me an important question. I wanted to quote the ancestors right here. Martin Luther King said, "Direct action seeks to create such a crisis and foster such a tension that a community which has constantly refused to negotiate is forced to confront the issue." You see this? I want you to read that. Read that for me. It's going to clap different when you read it. The top.
Direct action seeks to create such a crisis and foster such a tension that a community which has constantly refused to negotiate is forced to confront the issue. Martin Luther King. Only a crisis, actual or perceived, produces real change. When the crisis occurs, the actions that are taken depend on the ideas that are lying around. That, I believe, is our basic function, to develop alternatives to existing policies, to keep them alive and available until the politically impossible becomes the politically inevitable. Milton Friedman.
Now, I just want to say, the first quote is by Martin Luther King. The second is Milton Friedman, who was not a friend of the people. But that's still an accurate statement. Until the politically impossible becomes the politically inevitable. And I think when we talk about the perfect storm, the pandemic has created the politically impossible. What was once politically impossible is now politically available. There will be health care for everyone in this country. It's inevitable. They have to provide health care for everyone in this country like every other industrialized nation. Now you see the hypocrisy of these guys having all the material, military weapons and equipment they need, but we don't have all the healthcare equipment that we need to provide people, even during a pandemic. And then we will have the situation of economic fallout. In Canada, they're giving $2,000 to every citizen, and they have a superior healthcare system during this entire pandemic. But America, who out here got a $1,200 check? Do anybody get a $1,200 check? Anybody get a check? I ain't get no check either. I ain't get a check. Did y'all get a check? Oh, y'all still getting checks. All right, so there you have it. And then, anybody been tested? Anybody been tested? Anybody have health care? Yes, of course, you got to step up here. Until the politically impossible becomes the politically inevitable.
I would like to say this. As black people, this is our time for us to stick together as a community. For generations and generations, black people and our civilization of black people could not stick together. Every other civilization of people, whites, Asians, regardless of the race, they can stick together. We cannot stick together as people. Today is a change. We want impact. We want to enforce to everyone that we matter on this earth. We all share this earth together. And at once we're gonna make a change. And today starts equality. And as being 22 and millennials out there, I really want you to vote, and I want everybody to change the Senate. I want us to be educated, and I want us to be proven wrong. We're not a stereotype. We are more than a voice, and we're more than just innocent bystanders. We're ready. we're ready to make change.
What is the issue of police brutality to you personally?
Personally, what's seriously going on is these supremacists. They're taking over, and what they're doing is it's these police departments are getting paid off to do these intimate crimes and to get away with it. It's so much money being affiliated into the military, being affiliated into the police department. It's not being affiliated to the people. Our taxes and our money is being used in the wrong places. We're not safe in our communities, and it's a big problem. And we're here today to make a change of that. So I'm ready. Oh my gosh, it just brings so much pressure to just the environment. Like, you see everyone, like all races are here. This is beautiful. Every single last day protesting, every single last, and I'm just so, like, how much we've evolved as human beings, that we are all here as different races trying to prove that we matter in this world. We have everyone is here today, so I'm astonished, honestly. Like, I'm here to make change, and so is everyone here else. We're here to make change. And today's emphasis, I want to say, pick up your phone and make a call and call your local department and tell them your thoughts about how you want to change the community. Make an impact. If you cannot stand outside and sustain this weather and this heat and all these people being here, do something at home. Everybody who is young, make a change. We are here to make change. Life is going to change after this. I'm ready. No problem.
Solidarity to it.
Thank you. I'm ready.
I just want about to be a junior in college, a 3.5 GPA, track and field, full scholarship, and I'm educated. But you can't tell me from a hooker on the street because of the color of my skin. You don't know me, so why judge me if you do not know me? I am trying to better this community. I am in school, majoring in psychology, majoring in criminal justice, minoring in philosophy, because I want to be the change that I see in the world. And we do not have enough black doctors, black educators, and black anything. And we're not asking them to give us benefits that no one else gets, but we're asking them to be treated like equals. You do not stop white people when you see them walking down the street with weed in their hands, so why stop us? We should not fear every time we walk out the house.
And that treatment, it's not just the stopping you and searching you, that leads to deadly things.
Exactly. Like, if it was just a routine stop, we wouldn't care. But it's never just a routine stop. It's a routine stop that turns into a murder. And they don't ever have to answer to it. And it doesn't matter what we did. It doesn't matter our background. No one deserves to die. Whether I was locked up for all of my life or whether I was a good student, I do not deserve to die. Everybody is equal, and everybody should be allowed the same rights. You do not get to play God and pick and choose who you kill and who you save. That's not your position. You killed a man over what? The thought that he had a counterfeit bill when he really didn't? Meanwhile, there's a whole bunch of white people who rape girls who are in jail for 6 months. But you murder someone over a fake $20 bill they didn't even have. And that's just ignorance. And it would be one thing if they answer to their crimes, but they never do. It's not even a slap on the wrist. And the corruption goes back down into so many systems. And we as black people, we built this country, and the least that we're asking for is equal rights. When really this country is ours. And if we wanted to take it, we could, but we're not. We're trying to be peaceful. Because they see us as angry, they see us as loud, they see us as ghetto, they see us as uneducated, so we're not trying to give them what they want. We're being peaceful. But there are so many protests where white people storm the Capitol. They got guns. They're spitting on police officers. They're throwing stuff at them. I see so many videos on Twitter of white people fighting cops at protests. If we tried to fight a cop, we would be shot. We wouldn't even make it to defend ourselves. We would be dead.
Could you imagine a protest like this showing up at a state house armed?
A protest like this wouldn't even make it to the State House. We wouldn't even make it to the steps. You see how threatened that they are? They say that they're not threatened, but they have all this gear. They have all this backup. For what? We're unarmed. What? Are you that scared because of the color of our skin? And we're all young. A lot of us have futures. If you think that we want to ruin our future for people who we know doesn't give a shit about us, if we wanted to fight, we would do that. If we wanted to cause riots and chaos, we have more than enough people to do that. If we wanted to storm past them, we could do that. But we're not doing any of that because we're trying to get away from the narrative that we're all angry and aggressive and loud. And it's like, we can only win so much. We're not asking for $1 million. We're not asking for something that shouldn't be expected. When you are born, you should have the right to be treated right. And we don't hate, well, I can't speak for anybody else, but I know that all people in the military system aren't bad. I know that all cops aren't bad. And I know that all of them aren't racist. But if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. If you know people who are racist and you don't call them out, then you're part of the problem. We're not here to fight because I don't even got no clothes on. I can't fight right now. We're not here to do any of that. We just want our voices heard. And they keep saying that they hear us, but there's no change. So you're hearing us or you're just choosing not to listen, but there's no change. We shouldn't have to ask to be treated with human decency. We shouldn't have to be asked to, like, I shouldn't have to make sure, oh, no police color we were born. But if I could, I would be black because I love being black. Black is beautiful. But at the same time, I wouldn't want any other race to experience what we as black people go through because it is hard. Every day is a mental struggle to just get myself to go to work. I work 7 minutes away from where I live, and I always run the risk of, oh, somebody might shoot me, somebody might arrest me, somebody might pull me over for something that they think I've done. And the only thing scarier than the potential of being shot is the potential of not having your voice heard. There's so many black murders that are unaccounted for. There's so many times that black people go missing. Okay, so what I mean when I say that is that there are a lot of times where it would be one thing if a crime was committed and I got to advocate, but a lot of times us as black people, we have our rights stripped from us from the beginning. We don't even make it to the courthouse to talk. We're shot dead right then and there. And that's not fair. It shouldn't be like that. And everybody who's here supporting us, I appreciate them. And the ones who aren't, they need a reality check. Because this is the real America that we live in. And nothing's going to get changed unless people like us stand here and fight. The civil rights movement was not that long ago, and it's still going on now because we still have not been afforded all of our rights that we deserve. And that's all I got to say.
Put it right in his face. You gotta see it right in his face. Can't even see the protesters. You're gonna see the sign. That's it. And you can't talk because he told you to stop talking. Is that what he told you? Yeah. I'll talk real quick. This man, hey, all of them claim that they with us, but doing the exact opposite in their actions. I'm not here for words. I'm not here for words no more. Their actions aren't even displaying what they believe, man. That's crazy. And this happens over and over again. This happens over and over again. They came with riot shields knowing damn well the stigma behind us during the day is peace. It's peace. At nighttime I can understand. But it's daytime. I can understand the crack of dawn. But it's daytime. They came out during the day with this.
Well, it seems like this is an escalation from yesterday, which was a peaceful protest.
We were up there yesterday. When we were peaceful, we got gassed. We got tear gassed by the military, by the park police, and the Secret Service, which is crazy because we were being peaceful. But yet they're still standing out here saying that they agree with us. Your actions aren't proving it. He stopped talking to me. I'm not going to even point him out. One of them stopped talking to me because his boss said so. How does that work? What system are you working for? We got to change the system. It starts with you guys. It starts with you guys revolting. That's how the system changes. You guys are supposed to be protecting this country. What are you protecting? What are you protecting? What are you protecting? You go outside the country. You dead go outside the country to protect who? Because you're dead standing here while we're getting violated in our own country. That's dead crazy. Dead ass. And you stop talking because that's crazy. Another man told him to stop talking, so he did. It's crazy. It's a lot of followers mentality going on. Everybody want to be a hero, but no one want to take action. They all want to be heroes, but not being heroes. So what's a hero in their definition? What's a hero in their definition? What's a hero in their definition? Are you guys leaders? Y'all not leaders, y'all followers, because y'all listen to the people y'all don't even agree with. Y'all are listening to people y'all don't even agree with. That's cold. I'm done. I got to stand right here. I'm not even like to talk. I'm right here. I'm right here. Oh, next season? Oh, where? Hey!
All right, that was real tough right there. I just want to make sure we're clear on something. We keep hearing everyone say, I can't breathe. But what is the science behind that statement? 2 men died saying those words, I can't breathe. It started with Eric Garner. We saw his death on camera. Police choked him to death in an illegal chokehold, allegedly for selling loose cigarettes. His crime was selling loose cigarettes. No violence, crime of poverty, definitely did not warrant a death sentence. But he met his death on the street at the hands of police, choked to death. Weeks later, NYPD wears T-shirts that says, I can breathe. Intimidating people. They locked up the man that videotaped his death, harassed him over and over. This is what we know. Now we see George Floyd. He dies at the hands of police with a knee on his neck for 9 minutes. He died saying, I can't breathe. His alleged crime is supposedly a counterfeit $20 bill. Allegedly a counterfeit $20 bill. So basically, in America, black life is less than $20. Black life is less than a loose cigarette. Black life is less than anything we own, any property. The irony is that black people used to be property. And now all of us, when we were property, we was valuable. And now we're not property, we're not valuable. That is the irony of America. And here's the caveat. HSBC Bank was convicted of laundering billions of dollars in drug profits, were convicted, found guilty of laundering billions of dollars in drug profits. No one went to jail. They was declared banks too big to jail and paid a fine. Billions of dollars. But you can get killed for selling a loose cigarette. You can get killed for allegedly having a fake $20 bill if you look like I look. This is America, and this is what has to change. And if you can't see that, then you are part of the problem, and that's why we're here.
I just think that it's bullshit how Nicholas Cruz can go and shoot up a high school and walk out on the highway and they arrest him peacefully, but you want to shoot us over a traffic stop. And I know that the death penalty is legalized, is legal in I think 25 states, and the fact that we don't even need the death penalty anymore because we have the police killing us. We said that the death penalty wasn't legal in more than half the states, but yet we have our damn near in-person death penalty. They shoot us for no reason or for stupid reasons. You let a school shooter walk out peacefully and you arrest him on the side of the highway and he shot up a school and killed more than 10 people. But yet Dylan Ruth. I'm talking about Nicholas Cruz, the one who shot up the Parkland school in Florida. I think, 3 years ago, and he was on the side of the highway when they arrested him. And yet you kill somebody over a thought of a counterfeit $20 bill. That doesn't make sense. Regardless of the crime, death should never be the answer when you're trying to arrest them. You can't even arrest the black people for the crime that they commit because you kill them before you get them to the courthouse or to the jailhouse. We're not safe in your custody. We're not safe on the streets. We're not safe anywhere in America. And that's bullshit because the same people who are supposed to protect us are the ones who scare us. A school shooter gets put in handcuffs and put in a police car gently, and then you're going to what? Kill somebody over a counterfeit $20 bill. That's bullshit. And that doesn't make sense.
They were talking about everyone being here despite COVID. It's almost like black people ain't ever felt safe. So
COVID doesn't mean shit to black people because if we're going to go regardless. We could be minding our business and we're going to go. We could be starting a war and we're going to go. We as black people are never safe.
got killed over the foreign soil. They'd be way over there right now, shut down I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long. I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Police me, swallow your pride. We are them things you need to know. You cannot we all need somebody to lean on. Might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long. I'm gonna need somebody to lean
Years ago, and this outrage has been built not just for 2 years, 10 years, decades, hundreds of years. We have someone talking about slave owners and how they used division tactics to pin black slaves against each other, and she's urging the movement to stay united.
If you get arrested,
that was
Happening here, it's not
No, signing whatever she's saying to the crowd. The signing? Right there, the chick went in on her.
Yes!
That are out here tonight. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for standing with us, and I appreciate you for recognizing what is going on in America, for recognizing that Black and brown bodies matter, for recognizing that Black lives matter. For holding that space with us. We as a people need to come together, and that means all of us, regardless of race, regardless of culture, regardless of religion. We need to come together and stand with each other and stand for each other. We are one, we are the people.
Yes!
That's it all. Fuck the police! 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 Fuck the system! Fuck the system! Fuck the system!
Sunday we're doing the Muslims for Black Lives at right here at the Frederick Park at 1 o'clock.
Sure.
You know what's open?
Okay.
I'm trying to tell you about a rally or something.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, you want to? Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let the people know, OICC, the Oakland Community Center, is having an event June 7th. Make some more West Cap Bulls up this Sunday in Little Bobby Hutton Park, 1 o'clock. It's the Muslim community standing with the Black community against white supremacy and against police terrorism. 1 o'clock in Little Bobby Hutton Park. Be there Sunday.
Thank you. Mama's really fucking bright.
Hell yeah, as you should.
This is my niece, Mona. I'm so fucking proud of these young people. And I'm so glad they turned out right because this is my old ass to retire.
Yes!
I couldn't do the damn thing. So, okay, we're going to get some Girl Fights Fire. But I do want to say to you that it is 10:00 motherfucking 2.
Fuck your curfew! Fuck your curfew!
Libby Shaft.
Shit.
Listen. will lead us. I am the proudest auntie right now for my baby. Oh my God. We are going to win, y'all. We are going to win, y'all. So my name is Sarah Fife. I'm the director of the Alliance of Californians for Community Empowerment, some folks call us ACE. We were organizing takeovers of properties before COVID hit, right? We were taking back properties. And I want to stress to you right now, because there are people as far as I can see. In every single direction, there are people as far as I can see. And if we stand together, we will win. And I bring up the fact that we were taking back houses because there are people that are still living unsheltered in this city right now. In the midst of a global pandemic, when the state is giving millions of dollars to the city of Oakland to house homeless folks right now, they have a curfew instated that says everybody needs to be off the streets unless you're homeless. Everybody needs to be off the streets unless you are homeless. We have more money that's going into these militarized systems than going into the systems that will help, heal, fix, do everything that we needed to do to take care of our people. We have got to break this system. Right now, you have elected officials on TV doing press conferences about what's happening in the streets of Oakland and the streets around the country. They said specifically about Oakland, it's not Oakland. We don't do this in Oakland. We don't break windows in Oakland. We don't damage property in Oakland. But let me tell that this is not Oakland. Let me tell y'all what is Oakland. Oakland is where children are trafficked as sex objects. Oakland law enforcement agencies all over can actually engage in processes where they're killing us. Right? That is Oakland. Oakland is a city where we can say that people should be off the streets and not express their rage about a system that's had its boot on our necks for centuries, but homeless folk are living on the street. We are living in Oakland where nurses and teachers and city workers and people in every type of public sector are striking because they cannot afford to live here because the rent is too damn high and you cannot find a place to live. Where you can be put out of your job, you can lose your job, and your landlord steals the man that you pay rent, but then they get a motherfucking bailout. Fuck that! This is Oakland. If that is Oakland, then we can tear this shit down like Looney said to build what we need. After a forest fire, I say this all the time, after a forest fire, when everything is burned to the ground,
it's hard to tell
new
exactly
things
how
come
this
up
happened,
from
but
the
here's the
ashes.
intersection.
We have to have
Looks like
systems ready to be
plowed
born.
into a tow truck. A lot of officers, LAPD officers here on scene, the fire department trying to get that officer out. That front end of that cruiser is completely smashed in. Look at that. It's just smashed in. The front windshield smashed in. And it looks like they're using maybe the Jaws of Life there. Let's see. Definitely using the Jaws of Life to try to get that officer out. And Mike, let's see if, I don't know which way they're going to bring him, but let's see. We'll watch that gurney because they might bring him this side. Yeah, they're going to bring him out this side. We're good. Our firefighters on the driver's side using the Jaws of Life. The firefighters on the passenger side, looks like they're going to bring that backboard in and pull that officer out. This all happened just before 10 o'clock tonight. Wow, look at that. They just pulling on parts of the car to get it out of the way. Working very feverishly to get that Jaws of Life in there to free that officer. I'm getting some exhaust. Hey, Mike. I'm getting exhaust in the shot. There comes a bigger, heavier duty Jaws of Life coming in to get the door off. It looks like they're going to try to pinch that door right off the vehicle. All right, it looks like they may have got him free. They're coming to the passenger side. They're going to slide that backboard in there, get him on that backboard and then onto that gurney. There's the slide. There's the officer coming free. Officer out. He's out. Shoot, it's almost 6 o'clock. See what the RA is. One of those two that's going to be. Officer's moving, that's a good sign. He's moving his arms around there. He's lifting his hand to his face. I'm getting exhaust again. RA-15, he's going into. I'm going to check the vehicle one more time to make sure it was just the one officer. It looks like they've cleared it. We have Yeah, do you want us to follow to the hospital? Yeah, Jack, do you want us to follow to the hospital? Yes, yes, we did. We're downtown. Yeah, we can do at least through 11:15. What's our fuel? How much? $25 minutes only? 45, yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, we have 45 minutes and then we need to go for fuel, so that should give us the time. Let's see here. 45, that'll be top of the 11. Hey Jack, we could, if you want us to refuel, we can go now and be back for the 11. Okay, understood.
For the people downtown. For the people downtown, if you think, you know, you're gonna sit in the black person with the megaphone, and these young white kids up here
can change it.
Pleading for their fucking life.
You can change it. You can change it. You can change it. Speak to your authority. Tell them the system does not protect them. It protects us. It protects y'all. Y'all can kill people. Y'all know that. Eric Gardner, Breonna Taylor, no more hashtags.
Every black person that was killed was innocent. But whether they were innocent or guilty of the crime, they did not deserve to die.
Exactly, no, they didn't.
White kids can go and shoot up the school and get carried out of handcuffs, and we get shot over a $20 bill. Mexicans get shot over they kill over 90 people. They get picked on the police car. I'm tired. If you really want to make a statement, that don't all we want you guys to do is understand our pain, understand how we feel, understand our hurt, understand why we're angry, understand why we're angry, understand why we're lighting this bitch on fire. We are tired. I'm tired. We are all tired. And until we get justice, until we get real justice, we're going to continue to burn this bitch to the ground. The ground. Your fucking president would rather us burn this bitch to the ground instead of locking free white men up. Say their name! Say their name! We are out here fighting for free men to be locked up in a pandemic. What type of shit is that? All for a black man's life. Somebody that comes to the party that you want to see. You give me the money in her eyes. You can see her Donald Trump. You listen to her. That's right. Look at her. She's thinking you. You can see her. That's her leader. You don't fight for freedom. You fight for fascism. We don't fight for freedom. We want justice.
I'm working for that now. Y'all don't gotta wake up and go to work tomorrow. Remember that. Make it so they don't got enough officers tomorrow, man. Remember that.
Breonna Taylor.
That one difference is a huge difference for us. And y'all don't even realize that. I'm not gonna talk to her.
Can I just ask something? Excuse me. You, out of all of them, we most disappointed in you. We are young enough to be your fucking daughter. You can't even make eye contact.
On her fucking feet.
When you signed up, I know you did. Because I ain't never think this day was coming myself. So I know
Breonna Taylor.
was coming. When you signed
Breonna
up,
Taylor.
I know you did. I know you did.
So we've got the intersection blocked off here, preventing any type of traffic, accompanying the group of protesters who have moved south on Davidson Street from Trade Street.
You want somebody to defend them? You want them to speak up and tell you what happened, what all that? If you got kids, that's what happened to your kids. You don't want them to speak up, right?
In the fucking morning on a show. Ahmaud was doing nothing wrong. And 3 men participated in his death. Where's the justice? Where's the justice?
On one of your kids that your kid at school trying to learn peacefully.
A man was outside beating the police.
You probably don't. You probably think she's crazy. You probably think she's talking crazy. Dead ass. You dead ass think she's talking crazy. That's dead what you think. It's dead shit you think she's talking crazy. You so lost you can't even get a bug off your head, man. Come on.
That a black man is gunned down or beaten or murdered by the police because of the color of his skin. That pain that we are feeling is that same pain that all of y'all probably have felt when one of your men goes down and dies. And imagine watching one of your men or soldiers or battles die and scream, I can't breathe for 9 minutes and there's nothing you can do. Imagine for 9 minutes you watch one of these men that you call your brothers being murdered.
You look at me in the eye like, look at her.
She
talking to you. I'm next.
And you can't give me nothing, no. Imagine for 9 minutes watching one of your fellow brothers being murdered and there's nothing you can do. Imagine the person standing next to you right now being murdered for 9 minutes. And you have to sit in the whole picture and other people stand there. Imagine that there are cameras rolling and everyone else is standing there for 9 minutes like that. And one of you are getting murdered. Imagine for 9 minutes your fellow brother. That's what I'm all they gotta do is imagine standing there for 9 minutes. We're dying, and you can't intervene.
I know you may not be able to answer all of it, right? You know, you're not an everyday cop. Can you hear me still? I'm good. You're not like an everyday cop. You're not like an everyday cop who has to do it. The next time you're doing it, it's racism and systematic and all of that is something that's passed down. So next time you're in your unit, check your frames. Sometimes you know what I'm saying? What are your frequency limitations when you see a black male who may be a little bigger than you, but he has tattoos, all this? He's a human. That's the first thing you should think of.
Hold your composure. One step back.
What do you see? You know what I'm saying? And you could take it.
There's no moment. I understand at 11 o'clock past curfew, be here. Put quiet shit, put all your gear. We've been peaceful. Imagine a nigga talking to you with all this.
You know what I'm saying? But as a black man, you'll probably remember from this protest, rather than all these people yelling in your face, you'll remember this one person who had this conversation to you about taking your privilege sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you don't take your privilege. Like I said, I don't know what your history is. I don't know if you're going to be. You may very not want to be. You very may not. You very may not. So that being said, all I want you to do is just think next time you're in a situation, next time your counterpart says, oh, we don't do this, that, be the person, granted you're probably a little more comfortable when you see somebody your skin color and you have to do with something like that. That's any human, you know what I'm saying? We get comfortable around it, that's fine. But think about the other people, who had a wife, who had a daughter, who had a son, who had a brother, who had a sister. You're somebody's son. You may be somebody's father. You may be somebody's husband. So is any black man or black woman walking down the street.
That's that what you're doing. You're fighting against us. The police are fighting a war with us, and you're helping the police. Trump literally threw tear gas at us the other day and tried to say that he did it. He's dead, dude.
Do you hear him?
That's crazy. Inhumane. This is inhumane to say the least. You may here to be incite violence. You may here to just be violent. That may be your purpose. If that's your purpose, go ahead. You might have to kill me with that riot shield. I'm not going to hit you back. When you kill me with that riot shield, hope you have a great day. Have yourself a Happy Meal and a Burger King. And you, brother, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in you the most. I'm disappointed in you. You can at least put your badge on. You can at least put your badge on. You can at least put your badge on. And you can at least put your badge on.
As a human being, I don't even know your name. I just see riot shields and protective gear. I think of all you niggas the same. Deadass. I dare think of all you niggas the same. And she got earplugs in. Take that shit out. It's not that loud. Come on, dog. Take that shit right out. Listen to what we're saying. At least, can't even listen to what we're saying. And you're protecting your brother right here. You call him your brother more than you call me your brother. That's tough. You hate to see it. You call him your brother more than you call me your brother.
Heroes don't do what's wrong. The same way that y'all tell y'all kids stories about monsters, you're the monster not nothing story.
It sounds good to go into other countries saying you're protecting America because that's the stigma they created. But really you're going to other countries taking their resources and destroying them. That's why we have ISIS. That's why we have moments like these, because you guys are in our country protecting us. We're literally fighting a war by ourselves, bro. This is cold. Politicians not with us, no one's with us. The army can't be with us? That's crazy. That's crazy, man. It's a crazy world we live in. Y'all call yourselves heroes just because America created the stigma that you guys are heroes. That's cool. These racist cops have got to go. And y'all can't even chant with us. Y'all can't even chant with us, but y'all can say the national anthem.
Shit would be so much more peaceful. That's funny. But he sees us and he understands what the fuck. Hello, I'm talking to you. Can you look at us when we're talking? Excuse me, can you look at us when we're talking? Hello? Can you please look at us when we're talking? So you can look at us.
Who are y'all protecting right now? Remember that. That's all I gotta ask. Y'all not protecting us. I like the military.
Do you hear us? Do you hear us? Can you look at us? Can you pay attention? What's your crime? What's your crime? What's your crime?
One step back. No, I know. We just want one step Anything left?
I've been talking right. I've been talking so much. I don't like they horse. But you know what we out here for? Of course, we're protesting for our lives. You know, everyone's very frustrated.
We had a question was why so many black women on the front line?
It's our natural instinct to be nurturers. It's our natural instinct to protect. It's our natural instinct.
I was like, didn't they see Black Panther?
You already know how we gonna do it. It's our natural intent. So that's why you see so many black women
Look on the reinforcements. Never change the tool.
I want you to see this. I want you to understand his pain. I want you to know he is somebody's brother, somebody's son, somebody's father. You know what the problem is? Soldier. We found 2 officers, everybody that was nice. Just two. And they were able to do something, and that's why I know y'all are wild, because y'all can do something. That's why I know y'all wild. Because if 2 people can speak up, so the fucking you. Y'all need to see why we are hurting, why we are mad every fucking day. Even y'all was out here would still be mad. At the end of the day, y'all are putting this on yourself. Y'all are choosing to follow what the fuck he's saying. Y'all are choosing that shit. Y'all can stand the fuck up, because I know some who have. Y'all can stand the fuck up if you're choosing that. And it's sad. It's fucking sad. And that shit's sad as shit, bro.
Just a reminder that Jerome Mattis said what you're doing is fucking unconstitutional. Just a reminder that Jerome Mattis said what you're doing is unfucking constitutional. Just a reminder that Jerome Mattis said what you're doing is fucking unconstitutional.
We're thugs. We are educated women. We are nowhere near thugs.
The same oath I took when I went in the army is the same oath you took. And here you are, fucking spitting on it. I'm fucking disappointed. These are my power arms. Are you fucking kidding me?
You see that big ass gun? Like, what the fuck? Y'all don't need that. Y'all got all these guns. Y'all got people on the roof for us. For what?
You're married, right? You have a ring on. I want you to think about your wife being killed for no reason.
Your wife being slaughtered for no reason.
No reason. Your children being killed for no reason.
No reason. He's married. That's his sad. You're married. You probably have kids. Your kid, like you keep saying, your kids can be hashtag. Your wife can be hashtag.
Your kids could be target practice.
Yeah, just that. That's what y'all white people don't kill us white people. Okay, but y'all shooters do. Y'all mental kids. do? The fuck? Y'all don't have police brutality? Okay, y'all have police shootings, then what? Where's all the outrage then? For gun reform and all of that. Why are we the only ones who make all this like thugs? We're asking you for the bare minimum. That's a bare minimum.
Please do not get too close. They don't use any reason to use undue force. Please do not get too close. They don't use any reason to use undue force. Please do not get too close.
As you can see, the protesters have people coming through and doing crowd control basically the whole time. Getting people to push back, give some space, make sure that, no one makes these cops feel as uncomfortable and afraid as some of us might feel.
No. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I have a message for all the Antifa members in this motherfucking crowd right now.
We're now about an hour and a half till the news curfew.
You do not represent us. If you are here to harm these officers, you do not represent us. If you are here to start some bullshit, you do not represent us. We are here is to humanize them, so hopefully one day they can humanize us. We will respect them because we have respect. We were raised right. So please,
We have black mothers,
Please.
black grandmothers.
act accordingly. Act like you respect yourself. And if you see anybody in this crowd that's doing some bullshit, shut that shit the fuck down. We are here to be peaceful, and that is it.
We just want you to understand our pain, bruh. We want you to understand. We want you to see it, to feel it. There's all of us out here. And y'all don't think it's just us blacks? No, we all see that the blacks are hurting. We all see that we're all hurting right now.
Who was raised right in this crowd? Who was raised right in this crowd? Whose mama taught them to not put their hands on people if they don't have
Put
to?
your hands on me first.
Please listen to your mama.
You see his face. Breathe the air out. Don't touch her.
No peace! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace!
We want you to know that we really do not hate you. We really do not hate you. We want you to know we just want you to understand. And it makes us hurt. It makes us have rage. When y'all act like y'all don't understand, and you act like y'all don't see it. That's why when it's clear in your faces. It's right. We're right in your faces. Telling you why we're giving you examples, reasons, justification. We're giving you, showing you evidence. And y'all still don't want to believe us?
That's a blue lights flag on you? That's why you were smirking and laughing? Look me in my eyes. That's the least you can do. Look me in my fucking eyes. this courage to do this and represent all that? Huh? Read my sign. Read it. That doesn't matter to you. That doesn't matter to you because it doesn't affect you. You don't understand. Instead, you're defending a man over there that touches children, rapes children. And I guess that's where you're at. He's on the right side. Look at him. You can see his fucking lip turning. It's going up. Smile, baby. Go ahead and smile. Go ahead. I have a nice smile, too. I got a real nice smile. I'll be happy to show it to you. Show me yours first.
Hey soldiers, does my Black Lives Matter to any of you? Do you understand how it feels to be scared when you get pulled over? I fucking doubt it. He doesn't give a fuck about Black lives.
And they knew they were going to put DC police, and they knew they would have been tore the fuck down. DC police knew they were wrong.
Yeah? You can take this shit off. I can't take this off.
Why y'all got fucking layers of people? They're just us. Fucking protesters, peaceful protesters.
Do you believe I'm human, soldier? How about you, soldier? You believe I'm human? No, not you either. You don't believe I'm human either? Do you believe I'm human? Do you believe I deserve to live? Do you care?
Come on. Come front line, bro. You too far back. Come on, bro. Come front line. Come on, my brother. Pull one on our line and get in front. I'm right here in front. I'm a woman. Come get up front, bro. Show me how much of a man you are. Come get up front.
You're not going to be scared. Right.
Come on, bro.
Do we all know our rights? 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 The nation put their goddamn hands on us.
Come up front. Come front and center, bro. Why you all the way back there? Pull one of them on the line.
He up here, Uncle Ruckus. Uncle Ruckus Ashley. That's what you call him. Fucking jigaboo.
Damn, and you black as hell too. That's a motherfucking shame.
Giving them their orders. Y'all just gotta get
You can't even come to the front line, bro.
We all gotta pay rent.
You can't even come to the front line. Come to the front, bro. I'm begging for you to come up front. I want to talk to you like a man that you're supposed to be. You signed up for this.
Step out.
And all I want to do is talk. Come up front, bro. Come to the front line, bro. You're supposed to be here in center, bro.
Strength in numbers. We
You
have
got the bag on the back. Come up front, bro. They I know you a bitch. Just like I thought, nigga. You a bitch. You already know. Put him up front. Let me holler at him. Put him up front.
My parents came from nothing. Nothing. They came to the state from
At least my other brother, even decided to attempt not to step off the line. He tried to hold his ground until another soldier pulled him. I can't help the fact that I love you, bitch. And I love this nation. I won't do it for you, but I'll do it for my kids. Yes, my kids. Who are their name. You forced them. You won't even try to step up. I'm right here in front of the center. Where you at? Back there. You back there.
You know, maybe if I start marching in a formation, these two soldiers right here will back the fuck up.
I'm like, this is really not for me. This is for y'all. Like, please stay back. I'm just saying, like, I understand y'all are angry, but this is for your protection. Yeah, like, that's all it's about. I do too.
Maybe if I start calling out women, right here will actually follow fucking instruction and back the fuck up all of us. Because we're backing the fuck up all of you. Here we are, non-threatening. Here you are, being the only goddamn threat. We are not. Why the fuck are you riot here? You're gonna fucking riot out there? Property is more important than defending people.
I know I got a pretty face. You can keep looking at it. Right.
There is no reason for you to be as heavily armed with your pepper spray and your bat and everything goddamn else because we're not here to harm you. I want you to go home to your family just like I want to go home to mine. Because I understand that your life matters, but I hope you learn that so does mine. I'm fucking tired of the tyranny in this country. I'm tired of the abuse. We all are fucking tired of the abuse.
Well, I can't tell, but the mask is definitely the blue line, the thin blue line.
I see it.
Yeah, you see the line on the right?
Yeah. Yeah, right there.
And his shirt has a blue line flag on his back.
It does?
Y'all had to do your job, so y'all are instructed to do your job. But at the end of the day, every job has a limit.
Too bad I can't say the same for you. I wish I could, but I can't. Because it's not a good job, because you don't even stand up for yourself. Oh, he broke.
It's sad, but it's like their boss really won't let them have compassion. Y'all really are not allowed to have compassion. Feel what other people are
He increased the military budget, didn't give y'all a goddamn dime, by the way. Our military budget is $716 billion. Did y'all get an increase in pay? Did y'all get a bonus? Did y'all get an extra uniform? Did y'all get shit? He don't give a fuck about none of y'all. Y'all are just bodies to him.
If you die today, you will be replaced. You will be replaced. You're nothing but a fucking number. Nothing. Nothing. You don't mean shit. To him, you're the fucking same. You don't mean shit.
Don't look past us. Don't look around us. You guys do it every day already. You can't take
Bastard.
30 seconds.
You're a fucking bastard.
You can't take 30 seconds to just listen.
A disgrace to humanity. A disgrace.
Actually, it's not
You know it before you can. You're supposed to protect us. Do you understand? We don't have anyone. The police kill us. You're out here. What the fuck are you doing at us? Who do we have? Who's supposed to protect us? It was supposed to be you. No one is protecting our freedom. And it was supposed to be you.
Keep walking straight now.
This is against everything you signed up for.
Everything.
This is not what it's worthless. You can't even make eye contact with anyone. I can see how uncomfortable you are.
He's so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. Him right here, so uncomfortable. He don't even look straight in nobody's eyes. Can't acknowledge shit, and that's what the problem starts. When you go, acknowledge it.
They're just getting ready. No peace.
No peace. No peace.
We're not getting kickbacks.
No peace.
50% of our taxes go to the How much money did I make last year? A third of it.
How? This fucker right here, how the fuck do you get a cross tattooed on you? How? You kill people! You kill people! And you sleep at night! How the fuck do you sleep at night? I hope you suffer from PTSD, you fucking bastard!
You teach them smart. Hope you teach them well.
All you fucking suffer from PTSD.
Who's gonna be here to protect them?
Fucking bitches.
So I hope you teach them well. Teach them smart.
All you guys
You can listen to them
suffer. Yeah. Regardless, you're gonna hear me. Regardless what he say to you, you're gonna hear what the fuck I gotta say. Fuck all y'all.
It's good. Take care of your mother. She could be one too. She could be just going to the grocery store. A normal day. Maybe get some coffee. And it could be her.
It may not be the same way. It would be a hashtag. It should be hashtag. I will keep repeating because it hurts. Our name should not be Twitter hashtag. Our name should not be Instagram hashtag. So y'all just to be post.
We're all broke.
Like what?
We're all broke.
Eye contact, come on, leave. No, he's leaving. Yeah. You see? You see? Just as bad. You see?
Where's your love?
You see this man right here on the fucking
Tell me God if you see this. Blink if you talk like if you see this man right here. I know you can. So your others can blink right if you see this man right here. No harm. You act like you cannot care. You can care. You can care.
What did I say about my life? Layla on my life.
Who would be scared? Who's scared? To get her door to her door. Saying her son got killed in battle. How do you think our mom feels? Your mom is scared to say got killed in battle. Our mom is scared to say got killed on the street. How do you think that feels to us? But they don't get the 3 officers with the medal and with the flag and the Arlington, Virginia cemetery. They don't get that. They get a fucking cemetery and they get a GoFundMe. That's what the fuck they get. Y'all don't understand that. Y'all cemeteries are different. Y'all funerals are different. When y'all kill and die is different than us. Y'all are killing us. I'm not saying you specifically, but what you're letting happen, and when I speak alcohol, bring you over my life, and you don't hear me, if you're letting it happen, you're being part of the problem. Who are you to do it, and so can you. And you're being part of the problem. And that's why I would never respect that shit. I would never respect that shit. Like, that shit's sad. You hear me now? Do you hear me right now? You can blink twice if you hear me right now. You can sound like his eyes. It's like this crazy idea. They don't understand. Just because y'all treat us they don't understand. Y'all treat us but they won't look and listen to our stories and our art. We don't get that off our head. We want y'all to understand our life. This is not right. Black kids should not have to be worried about making it home every night when you go to the store. You don't stop. We deserve to be able to grow up in the same future. We don't get the medal when we die. We don't get that medal. We don't get that flag.
We get to be treated right. We're not asking to be treated above other people. We're asking to be treated with the same decency. Right.
Do you see it today? Do you see it? Are you listening to it? Do you want to be doing that? No, you don't.
Can be out here in the world, bro.
I know you
just might want to go out for a day or so. We know. You're not wishing none of this. But we know what goes on, what happened in the world.
See my pain.
How would you say that?
We are scared.
Our kids get to work on
Our males are scared to walk on the streets. I'm not saying you.
Your voices. Look in the state.
They have defined, they have left us behind. We are behind. Y'all realize it? She's 20. We're out here 20 years old. Like, come on, it's too late. There's nothing better than you. Don't shoot. 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 Don't shoot.